All right, I think you can hear me now. How are you guys? Welcome back to my page. It's your girl Nico Nicole, and as always, this is Give This Girl a Mic. We have such a jam-packed show today. It's going to be so much fun. So let's just talk about it. Make sure I can hear you guys. You know how I am. All right, I think you can hear me now. Yeah, you guys are good. So I think you can hear me. So, okay, we have a lot to discuss today. Like, there's been so much news that I could barely keep up. I'm like, honey, what is going on? Like, why can't I barely keep up with this news? So, what we're going to do today is jump in from where we started off last week. So, I'm a little teeny behind because I was supposed to do this last week with you guys. But I was like, you know what? I told you guys I was going to finish at End of Attraction in my last live. So, age of attraction. So we're going to start there this week. But again, I just want to tell you guys, welcome back to the page. Let me put my Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I hope you guys had a good week. I hope you had an amazing spring break. We had spring break last week. We had Easter last week. There was so much going on. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that. Spent time with your families and did all the things. I hope you guys also just kind of took it easy if you could, and just made time for yourselves. I'm always like, you have to make time for yourself. It's so very important that we as women, we as people, we as human beings take that time for ourselves and make sure we put our best selves forward. And you guys know, you guys are my MVPs, more values and principles. That's what we stand on over here. And if you're interested in that, again, please don't forget to subscribe to this page. We have so much fun and we talk all things pop politics, pop cultures. Remember, everything on this show is in my opinion. And if there's anything that is your imagery that you would like removed, please shoot me an email to my email address at givethisgirlamic.com, givethisgirlamic at gmail.com, so you can send me any inquiries, requests, or if you have any questions for me, you can send them to me there as well. Don't forget also to follow me on all my platforms. I'm on TikTok, Blue Sky, mostly Blue Sky, though I love Blue Sky. I just started Snapchat, and make sure you follow me at all platforms as well. We are going to jump right in, as I mentioned. So I'm happy to be here with you guys, and let's get started. So this week we had the pleasure of watching the Age of Attraction reunion. So I watched that, and it was mostly a podcast that was on Nick Vile because he's the host of this show. So Nick Vile did the Nick Vile Files. And in that, he went over each couple that are still together. I'm only going to talk about the couples that are kind of still together, but I have a brief recap that I want to give you about these two particular couples. So we have Leah and Chris, and I didn't grab a picture of them, but that's the guy in this checkered shirt at the end. And then we have the girl right under him in a blue dress. That's Leah. And Leah and Chris are a really interesting couple because it gave like very much stage 5 clinger from Leah's part. Like, she was obsessed with this boy, and everybody was kind of like, what is going on with them? And I think it comes to the point where she was like kind of going through like a grieving session. Apparently, like, her best friend had mother's passed away and she wanted to be there for her. So I think she kept trying to leave, but he was like, I really like you, I want you to be here. All the while people are saying that he was just using her for clout and more camera time, which I kind of got that vibe when he was hooking up with Vanessa in that jacuzzi. And then he kind of later was like, I didn't like it. I was like, oh, he's a drama queen. So all that drama that he likes is going to be continued because apparently he is going to be on the perfect match. And so I think that's why he did this show in the first place. Like, oh, I got to deal with these older women. I'll deal with them. And then I'll get me a spinoff on the perfect match. So his dream has come true. As for the other couple, so we had John and Teresa here. They are an interesting couple because with these two particular people, I feel like they could have made like a better couple if they would have just like stayed together and tried to make things work. But what happened is these two kind of came to a clash at the end of their coupleship. So apparently, according to Leah, I mean, this is Teresa and John. Sorry, guys. So according to Teresa and Prince Harry, aka John, Teresa felt like things just kind of fizzled out. They did date for a couple of months after the show, and my personal opinion is like Teresa couldn't get over the fact that John was like so much younger than her kids. Like she never even told her kids how old John was. Can you believe that? Never told them. So at a certain point, I think the kids just learned once the show aired. And I think she had that shame and she was like so afraid to like be vulnerable in that way to this young boy that I think she couldn't just continue the relationship with him. That's my personal opinion of it. So yeah, they didn't survive either. But couples that did survive that I was really like surprised about, but also happy about, were, well, not these two, but were Andrew and Libby. I wasn't really happy about. I feel like this is that agenda they're trying to think because they're very similar to Nick Vile and what he's going through on the show. And in the reunion, these two were actually like put on a pedestal, so to speak, by Nick Vile. Like he was very happy that these two were on the show and made it. Like he wanted to make fetch happen so bad with these two that he continued to remind us that they were together, like again and again. So with these two, I don't know if they'll make it, but apparently he lives in Baltimore. She lives in Florida. So what, he has two daughters. He's going to move down to Florida half the time and then spend the other time with his daughters in Baltimore to try to make it work. They've been together for over a year now. Nick Vile, again on that interview reunion podcast, whatever that was, continued to like praise these two and was like, you're so mature, Libby. Yeah, one of those situations. Just yeah. So it was just literally that. But neither here nor there. They're still together. They're still making it work, which I'm not surprised about because he's a club owner. He has things. I think he would make things really poppin'. And if he did move to Florida with her, I could see them being like the it couple, them staying together until she's like 40 and then divorcing her, a la Lisa from Real Housewives of Miami. I can see this, even though it's like giving very much inappropriate. But I can see it. You know what I'm saying? Even his friends was like, no surprise that he chose like this young girl because that's just what he does. So, to each their own. She is grown, a grown up, just barely legal, but she is legal. So if she want to do this, whatever. Another one, let me go back to this post right here. So in this particular situation, another couple that wasn't with it was the young girl. What was her name? Let me look. Give me a second. I think her name was Pfeiffer. I was going to call her Piper, but Pfeiffer and Derek. So that Piper is the girl here in the striped red shirt, and Derek is the guy next to her here with the gray. What he has on the, what is this? Gray blazer, I guess. And so the black guy. So he looks really young for his age. And I think he was like 45 years old, something like that. And she's, again, similar to Libby's age. She's like 22 years old. And now I saw her on her TikTok talking about how she's now in a loving relationship, how she doesn't want to continue to, be a part of this show because she already found love, and that's what she came on the show for, was to find love. And because she found that, she's satisfied. So she didn't want to kind of say anything bad about Derek. She has no bad blood. He's a nice guy, which we can kind of tell that Derek's a good guy. So that's no surprise there. So she didn't show up for the reunion, and I'm happy she didn't because I was very satisfied with how things ended for her because she was way too young for that man anyway. He got kids as well. And I knew something was up with them. And I think we talked about this last week when her mom was like not into it at all. Like her mom was like, you sure you want to do this? Because I don't know about all that. Like, so I'm happy that for her, it didn't necessarily make a thing a thing. So let's go to back to the next couple. So because we did Andrew and Libby, and yes, so they're still together, been together a year. I guess they're making fetch happen. We'll see what happens with them um in the future. Next up is, let's see, Logan and Vanessa. Okay. Oh, sorry. Did I go to Logan and Vanessa? Yeah, here they are. So Logan and Vanessa, they are currently together as well. And I like these two, I feel like they're a good couple. Like they could either make it work or not. I feel like it's just really up to them and like their relationship if they decide to make it work or not. Like it really is like I feel like he's putting really a lot of like energy into her and he's doing his best to try to make it a real relationship. So whether or not they work or not will determine on how Vanessa treats him in that relationship because remember she's been married already or engaged now several times. So if they continue a relationship, it really will just be up to Vanessa. I feel like she runs the roost when it comes to him and I think because his parents are so much older in age, like when we saw his parents, they were like, they were about to kick the bucket. They were up there for him to only be 29. The parents were like in their like late 60s, early 70s, right? Most of us, our parents aren't in our late 60s until early 70s. We're like close to like our 40s or in our 40s, right? Right. So the fact that his parents would be the same age as her parents, I can see that kind of working because she's only 49. So that means her parents are about 70, 80 years old. They probably all have a good kiki together. Plus, on top of that, you have him being like this mature young man. I remember the guy I went to prom with was like that. His parents was very much older, and he had this old song. I'll never forget. He used to be singing that song. He put me onto this guy. I can't remember the name of the song. Oh, sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tides roll away. Otis Redding, yeah. So I had never heard of Otis Redding before, but his parents were like older, so he would be like, I was like, "What's your favorite singer?" I'm thinking he's gonna say like Mario, like back then, or like whoever else was famous back then. Like I feel like Mario was like that guys because we're gonna get into like You Me and Tuscany later, right? And that's like the song. They said that's the millennial song, love song. And I feel like that's why he was so mature and he reminds me a lot of this guy and it's so ironic because I haven't seen him in years, but he's my prom dates like years ago. Last time I saw him he was dating a girl like older than us, so it was just so funny because I'm like, yeah, this makes sense because you are an old soul, like you really are. So some people are like that and I feel like that's how Logan is. Like it's crazy because he's 29, so I feel like anything like he's about to be probably 30 soon. So anything 30 plus in that 40, like that 10-year age gap, I don't think it's that big of a deal. This is like a 20-year age gap though. But I feel like once you hit your 30s, you can do what you want. But I feel like that 19 to 18, I guess, because you're an adult, that 18 to 30 to 29, that is a little sketchy. And I don't like that when they start dating like way up in the 40s and 50s. But once you're 30, that's your business. I don't care what you do. So I wish them the best. He was 10 toes down for her. He's like, this is my woman. I'm marrying her. Like he was interjecting in other people's relationship, like reminding them about his relationship. So only the strong survive, and he's very strong in his like love and need for her. And she seems like she's very like L. Roberts. What is not? Is it L. Roberts? Anyway, Legally Blonde, like very aloof. So I can see her like being like young at heart. So it might work. I'm wishing them the best. All right, let's move on, and we're gonna talk a little bit more, so a little bit more reality TV, but we're gonna shift gears just a bit, and we're gonna talk about Ty, Kieran, and Sammy. And this is why I had to hop on today, cause I can't let this go on another week because it's been so much. It's been so much, and I was like, oh my god, these people, they are acting a fool. So you guys know I love this picture. I wish I can like fake it my background or something back there. You guys like my new background? I got like a AI me. Um, I know the water, right? AI water. But I made that before I knew about that. So I won't do it no more. But yeah, I love that little cartoon meme of me. Mind you, I made this like last year. So this is when that stuff just started. So I just never found a way to use it. And I was like, oh, I can use her now. And I use her like on my some like some background cover stories and stuff, but I never really used her seriously. But the fact that she's there, so if I ever like have to walk away, you guys will have something to look at least. So yeah, I thought that was cool. And I made that in Canva. So if that gives me any stock back, because I'm not trying to kill the environment, trust me. I be reading like all about the data centers, and I'm into all that kind of stuff, like making sure that we're doing like what's best for the environment, and like reading up on like how the data centers are impacting the local community and giving them cancer, and it's like taking so much water, and like how it's affecting even other countries, like. And it made me realize, like, when watching that stuff, and we'll get back to these two. Maybe I should do this while I'm talking about data centers. What it made me realize, like the data center stuff, getting onto my pretty political hat, it made me realize that when it comes to like how we're utilizing AI, we're really so close as a world. Like when we discard stuff and have like the fast fashion, when we're using the AI, we're taking a lot of that water from like African countries, and we're polluting their shores. Like you should see the water and how hot it is and disgusting and muddy it is. And those pipelines for AI that we use are like taking waters from their shores. And then on top of that, when we are doing the fast fashion and the Shein, all the stuff that is like polluted, all the excess pollution that is going into the water are going into like some of the shores off of in Africa. And if you think about the globe and the map, there's like that streamline, and the map makes it seem like the waters are like oceans and oceans apart. But when you look at how it's impacting them, and how much mass of like clothes and dirt and garbage is like landing on their shores, you realize how close we are to each other. Anyway, that's my rant for today. I know y'all ain't here for that, but no, I had to just say that because that kind of stuff like is really, when you think about it, like really sad that we have come to the point where we just have no regard for our earth, no regard for human decency, and I just feel like we as a people have to really do a better job of like caring about one another, and not just the big bucks that we can have while we're here on this earth, because the only thing we have is the earth. That is like the biggest monetary gain we can have, is to provide and survive this earth, because we don't matter what they say, we don't have another earth to go to. They can circle the moon a million times, we don't have another earth. So we have to preserve it and keep it cool, and not like make it a vacuum where we get sucked up into the sun faster. So all right, that's my TED talk, that I might take all this out. We'll see, we'll see. So if you guys stay for that, I appreciate it. Put some earths in the earth emojis in the chat. Okay, let's go back to Ty, Karen, and Sammy. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know the lore on all this. I explained a little bit about it last time, but things have hit the fan since the last time I talked about it. I think I was like one of the first people to actually tell y'all what was going on with it. But before, there was like this big interest. Now Ty done broke the world record of like messiest islanders, and I'm here for it. So what had happened was, okay, let's talk about it, girl. So what had happened was Ty was sniping Kieran as soon as he got out the villa with Sammy. So Ty, from the beginning, I watched the podcast that he did, Not My Bag. And in an interview, he talks about how when he met Sammy, he met her 8 years ago. And through that, he felt like an initial attraction to her. Like he thought she was so beautiful, and he really wanted her. But at the same time, he wasn't ready, because he was like immature, he wasn't like serious, and she was like, oh, you're not a serious guy, I'm not like taking you serious. So they kind of saw each other in passing but moved on. But they followed each other. She wouldn't give her number out to him, and so he kind of moved on, she kind of moved on. They both went on different Love Islands. He went on games, and then she went on All Stars. So this all is happening, and they will see each other throughout these last 8 years, on and off. So when he got on the show, people started asking him like, oh, if you was to be with any islander, who would you be with? He was like, I rate Sammy. I think she's like a real fly girl. So within that, once he started talking about her more and more, everybody else started saying, oh my God, Ty is like wants Sammy so bad. So this is when we, the audience, became messy. And so when she got out, she saw like Ty everywhere. Ty wants Sammy, Ty wants Sammy, Ty wants Sammy. And during that time, she also got to know Karen a little bit more. So she started going to different places with Karen. And within that, she kind of got bored of Karen. And she was like, you know what? He's a really nice guy, but he's not my guy. So she texted Ty and she said to Ty, he's cool, but I'm not really feeling Karen that way. Messy. Oh, girl. So then after that, Ty said, okay, bet. You're not feeling him, so that gives me open season to come in and shoot my shot. Open season. So fast forward, he sends flowers to Sammy. That's when the mess started, which we talked about last week. Once he sends those flowers to Sammy, Karen, little do he know, has not heard from Sammy in a while since she went back home after their trip together. And he felt like she was ghosting him a little bit, but he wasn't sure because, at this point in his mind, that's my girl. So he sent her flowers too. Little did he know that Ty had just sent his. And Ty in the podcast, Not My Bag, said, had I known that Karen was sending his flowers at the same time where they were still working it out, I probably still would have shot my shot, but it was never in a way to be disrespectful. So he's like, maybe he would have sent them, just maybe not the same exact day, but he still would have made sure she knew. So, we talked about that last week where she posted the pictures of herself with the flowers. So boom, 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 fast forward. All that media hit last week. We talked about that, talked about this, talked about it. So now, as of today, this is where we are. They went official, honey.
This being one of the hard launch photos, it's so egregious. It's so suggestive. I feel like I shouldn't be looking at this. What deal? I feel like if Kieran saw this and crashed out, understandable. So yes, Sammy and Tyreek have hard launched themselves on both of their Instagrams. As we know, they've been on holiday together in Morocco. They've both posted a whole photos of their entire trip. They both posted this photo, I believe. I think this is a cute photo. But they've been together kind of like 2 weeks is a bit insane. Not quite as suggestive as his. She posted this one. I think this is a very cute photo. This is a whole different vibe though. Also posted this one. I think they look really cute and happy in this one. My favourite picture Sammy posted was actually this one. I just think she looks like so natural, so pretty there. And it gives me very much like California beach girl. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they do look very happy and they've obviously had a lot of fun on their trip and I'm sure they had a lovely time. But it is very, very quick, especially to be on this holiday and like hard launching each other. Like, you know what, when you know, I guess. But to say 2 weeks ago she was still with Kieran, basically, it's kind of nuts, right? I'm also, though, of the opinion they're young, they should be having fun. Do I think they're going to get married? Probably not. But just enjoy it for
what it is. And that's how I see it. If you look at these two, they are having a good old time. And I feel like they're being young and like reckless, maybe a little reckless, but I like it. Like, look at these two. I was trying to show you guys this one big. Why do you won't get big? There we go. Okay. So these two here, look at that. That was him on Sammy's post, the first picture. And then this is Sammy on his post, excuse me. This is Sammy on his post the second time. Okay? And then we have them. This is when they first got caught. I don't even know if they would have admitted that they were with each other had it not been for the fans. Shout out to you and you and you and you. Oh yeah, honey. So they are posting them like crazy. This is another fan picture that busted them red-handed. So after think the fans ran into them in the airport, maybe they didn't think they had fans in Morocco, but Ty, you knew what you were doing. So they kind of just came out and just said, yes, we're hanging tough, and it's been really nice. And so I don't know, I love it. I think you be young, you have fun, you be a little messy, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. But you can't say they're not a sexy couple. Like, you can't say they're not beautiful. Little ting right here, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how you feel about it. I'm not offended that they're hanging out. I'm not offended that they're dating. I think it is Love Island. I don't think we should get too caught up on whether or not this is the real deal Holyfield or whatever it is. Like I just think it's a I don't know, a cute little a little situation. And if they end up together, they end up together. If they don't end up together, they don't end up together. I don't think they should put too much pressure on themselves to be with each other one way or another. Like I think at this age, they are very young, and if they decide to hang out and be together with one another, then I think that they have every right to do so, and that is their business. Like, there's a lot of little sightings of them together. They had like more Morocco imagery together. They were also at another event that I think I was telling you guys before. So they've kind of made it a thing, like to let people know that this is happening, whether we like it or not. And another thing that I noticed is I wanted you guys to see their horoscopes. So I thought it was really interesting. I'm like, what are these two signs? Because the way they're moving like, I don't know, very like coupley, like they can kind of make it work for a while. Like they're moving very similarly to one another. So I said, what are they signs? So if you see here, we have Sammy and Ty, and they are both. I think she is a Aquarius and he is a Aries. Okay, so let's go back to this one. They have a 60% emotional bond, strength is like very low. So it's not emotional, but their mental connection is very strong. So they playing them games. Their practical values are very similar and their physical spark is hot. So that is kind of what connects them to one another. And then we have again Tyreek with the Aries sun, Capricorn moon, practicality, the Pisces that's a little messy. The Pisces be messy. And then we have Taurus, who is really grounded, Scorpio, who is the hot flame as well, or water, but they're very sexy. And then we have the Aquarius sun, Gemini moon, Pisces, and Mercury. And we have Capricorn. Him and her both have Capricorn, but hers is in Venus, his is in the moon. And then they both have that Aries kind of hot, caliente, spicy, fiery thing about them, which is kind of what probably allows them to jump ship and make those like rash decisions. Because one thing, an Aries, like myself, I'm an Aries as well, we don't have a problem with making decisions for ourselves. Like we will jump ship, we do what we want to do, how we want to do it, when we want to do it, and why we want to do it, period. And nobody can say anything about it. So that is a very Aries trait, and they both have that Aries in their chart. They both have Pisces and Capricorn in their chart, so they both have a lot in common actually. So we'll see how this one works for them. And it seems like it could be something. Let me see if I can add that video. I know there was a video with Ty talking or with them on vacation a couple of days after that initial video dropped of them. Here it is.
The nights as black as
Sorry.
the nights as black as I'm rolling down a lonely highway, asking God to please forgive me. The nights as black as it's ever been. Without my girl, I'm losing. Me like a jet ski, she said you never wanna be my bestie. She like hit me and I just I'm rolling down a lonely highway.
And Whitney and what's his name? Yemen. Let me see if I can add the video of them real quick. Messy, messy boots. These people, I'm telling you, honey. They were, well, first of all, the positive. Look how beautiful they look. Let's talk about that. Let's add this video of them like outside looking good. And then we'll add the video where the girl is explaining the situation. So once that loads, we'll come back to that. In the meantime, we have Whitney and Yamin here. They're looking really beautiful. I guess she was going maybe to a friend's wedding. I'm not really sure. If you see me looking down, I have my handy dandy notebook because you know. All right, let's watch this video. Look at that. Looks so cute. Look at that. Bring this over so you guys can see the full thing. Okay, so we were able to load that video. This is Whitney and Yamin. We'll come back to this video. And look at them. Okay, we're gonna play them looking real spiffy. It's really short, but I thought they were so cute. You see that? Oh yeah, they look so good. They make such a good couple, really, truly. And I think they look good together. I hope they make it work. Like I feel like these two together could really make like fetch happen. You know what I mean? Like Yaman seems to like her mess. You know, I remember on Love Island, he was like, "Dad, she reminds me so much of mom." And sometimes when you have like those really like bossy, fabulous moms, well, like what she has, it makes him comfortable. And he seems like he always liked the exotic. Like if you notice, he was on like Temptation Island. He was on everything. Perfect Match. He been on Love Island. He been everywhere. And in all the shows, he always gets like a girl that is very unique and exotic. So I think the fact that she is Nigerian, I believe she's Nigerian. If I'm not incorrect, she'll let me know. Correct me if I'm wrong, that she is Nigerian and that she's like really that girl, like in her family and her culture. And I think he's enjoying the food, the differences in ethnicities, because Black American culture is a lot different sometimes than African culture can be, but they also have like such a commonality. And especially African Americans, I feel like in particular with wanting to like have those roots to Africa in a sense, hence African American and not Black American sometimes. So I think that's a beautiful thing. And then his name being Yemen, like you know his parents. Like one thing about Black Americans, they either gonna name you like something like super to the continent, or they're gonna just name you something super American, right? Me, I got an old Caribbean woman name, so you know. And then, but my middle name Nicole, which is what I go by on here, that's just like a generic name. So yeah, it depends on like how your family is. Like you know what kind of where a person is and what their parents are thinking based on what their names is. So the fact that his name is Yamin, but you know his daddy was one of those black folk. So I think he is loving this experience of being like in such a deep, diverse culture. And I just think they look like Barbie and Ken. Y'all remember? I don't know if I delete the picture. I had a picture of them Barbies I was going to put on here, but I forgot. It even remind me of that Barbie from back in the day, the Kenya doll. That's what they look like to me. So I did have it here. Let me see if they uploads because it's been acting funny with not wanting to upload my images. Hold on. I think I got so many pictures on here. It's like, girl, you had enough. Let me see. Let's try it. It ain't letting me load it, but let me show. I got it. Do I have it on my phone? I have it on here, so I just show y'all this way. But that's what they remind me so much of the Kenya dolls, y'all. Yeah, where is it? I just was looking at it. Okay. This the Imani one. Y'all remember these dolls? Let me turn off this light so y'all can see it. You see that? I want to look better without the light. Y'all like the light or not the light? I kind of like it without the light. Anyway, because you can't see it without the light though. Okay. That's them Kenya dolls. Yeah, I can see it better with the light, but okay. I guess, sorry, my dirty phone. The background not letting me be great. Yeah, y'all can see it better with the light. And then this is another. This is the ebony dolls that came with the Kenya dolls inside. So that's what they remind me of. Those dolls there. I used to love those. You can't really see them. I'm so mad because of this blue. Oh yeah, you can't see them. Okay, y'all can see them. Y'all get the gist. But that's what they remind me of when I seen them. I was cracking up. I was like, oh yeah, they remind me of them doll babies. But neither here nor there. We ain't here for all the goodness. I'm happy they're doing good. I think they're a beautiful couple or whatnot. But I think the gist of the story is really going to be about when keeping it real goes wrong. Okay, so Whitney, I personally feel like she inserts herself into things that does not have to. Well, let me say this. Let's give a round of applause for the dress before we get into the mess. Okay, let's give it a round of applause for this dress. Okay, so now let's get into the mess. So I feel like Whitney inserts herself in things that does not need to be inserted. Everything is not about you. Everything don't have to be about you. You are the star of your show. You are not the star of their show. So she has to figure out how to balance those things. Like she was this close to being likable, and people have not liked her since season 10. And I watched season 10 when she was getting into it with Ella. She was getting into it on the show, and they were sort of best friends because she kept crossing boundaries with Ella when it came to her and Ty. And that's when, Ty was like, shush, man, young man, talk to a man. And then the same thing Ty explained with the song, Bad Bit, Bad Bit, Bad Bit. The situation with that turned sour because in that same vein, she was had too many chefs in the kitchen when it came to her sister and opinions, and her sister jumping in chats, anti Ella and things like that when he was dating Ella at the time. Stop inserting yourself in stuff that is causing mess for you. Like at the end of the day, keep it P. Like don't put yourself in situations where it's gonna create stress for you because it is not necessary. It's like people are trying their best to like Whitney. And even me, like I actually am not like a Whitney hater at all. Like I'm not one of those people that is like, oh, Whitney gets on my nerves. She's too chatty. I think she should be chatty. I think she should. I'm trying to figure out. Give me 1 second, y'all. How to make my screen bigger on here. That has never happened to me. These sides so big. Weird. Anyway. I'm just gonna keep going because I can't figure out why that's being like that. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep it because it's kind of small on my screen, so I was trying to make it a little bigger for me, not for you guys. You guys can't see what I see. That's weird. Press it. Ah, I give up. There has to be an X button. Anyway, I'll figure it out next time. That's never happened before. You guys can't see what I'm talking about. It's just a me thing. Anyway. Guys, can you guys hear me? Sorry about that. I got kicked off trying to adjust my screen. Don't worry, that'll all be edited out. So, all right, so that's how I feel. I feel like Whitney sometimes inserts herself in situations that don't have to be that way. Like, it shouldn't have to be so hard to care about a person. And I think the situation with her and Scott, I think she inserted herself into it, but I think in particular she inserted herself because of this particular idea that she knows Scott the best. So I saw this meme and I just wanted to put just so I can give both sides because I'm going to give Scott's side as well next, but I wanted to help you guys understand how she found her way in the mess with Scott and Leanne. Okay, so on the show, Whitney is getting a lot of backlash because she said that she doesn't feel like Scott is right for Whitney. The reason she feels like Scott is not right for Whitney is because she feels like, she has been an amazing friend to him, but he's been a bad partner to a lot of the girls she was friends with. So, for example, if you guys know, Scott in the first season with her, she was in season 10 with Scott. And in that season, Scott was a menace to Catherine. Like every time a new girl came in, he was trying to get with girl after girl and a new one, and the next one, the next one, the next one. So I think in that way, it made Whitney not trust him. So because they had that lack of trust, it created like a dynamic where she felt like she was protecting her best friend Catherine, but she still wanted to maintain a friendship with Scott because she was friends with Scott. Her and Scott had made a good friendship. Her, Scott, and Ty, and the whole cast of season 10 had made a good friendship throughout the years. So as you can see here, it says Catherine has maintained that there were things Scott did not um did to her to make her leave. Whitney, Catherine, and Scott are all friends now, but she knows the real Scott. Plus, she also knows Catherine's side. Another thing here, you see it says Scott and Whitney have been friends for 3 years. She knows him as one of the people that stood by her when the internet turned on her for calling out her ex Lockham's racism. Through all the hate trains, Sky has always had her back. So she leans on Sky in a sense. And then the last one says, so why would she recommend Leanne to him, another dark skinned black woman, to be hurt? Whitney has also said multiple times that what Belle is doing is wrong, but she knows what would be worse is championing a train wreck. She feels like she was protecting Leanne in this case, because she feels like Scott is a train wreck. And she feels like, he's like Ty in a sense. He doesn't take things serious. She probably wouldn't recommend her friends to Ty. I give an example. Remember that there's a thing with Speedy going on. You guys know Speedy, the what's his name? The vlogger, I guess his name is. He's like a vlogger. He does like not vlogger. He does vlogs now, but he's actually known for doing interviews. He actually did a Love Island interview, the big one, Ace. Okay, remember Ace? So in that, Ace was talking about everything Oleandria, and that kind of was a big backlash. So recently, Speedy was on an interview with one of his closest friends, Angela Reese, who's a basketball player here in the States, a girl basketball player. And Speedy was basically like, who would you hook me up in your friendship circles? And Angel was like, I would not hook you up with any of my friends. And he was like, why? I'm playing around. Speedy is a jokester. He's like playing around, like, why? I'm a good guy. And Angel Reese was like, no, you're not. Like, you're cool for you from be my friend, but I would not recommend you to none of my friends because you played all day. And so when you have a friend like that plays all day, you wouldn't necessarily want them to be with your best friend. And even though Whitney and Leanne were not best friends per se, they are cool. And she felt like, okay, he would be a better fit for girls that play all day, which in her mind, because look how she got into it with Char, they she's a play all day kind of girl, a Miami girl. And then Belle, she be with the shits. She plays all day. So I think in her mind, she was like, yeah, you be the girls that play, because Leanne is a serious girl, a serious contender, and I don't want my girl to be hurt. And I think you play too much to be with my kind of girl. So that's one take. That's my personal take on why I think Whitney does not want Scott to be with Leanne, and what her initial like thought process was on it, right? I don't think she tried to come from a malicious or malice way. I know I hear the things and the reading and the little droppings about she have a crush on Scott and this and this and this. That could be, you could have a little, but I don't even think it's all that. I think it's just the fact that how he did Catherine, her actual real friend, and then seeing how they came out and how he was an F boy and then went on several other shows and dating and just like moving mad. I don't think she wanted Leanne to go through that same embarrassment that Catherine went through. So I think it was more like, I'm protecting her by not being rude to you because you had my back in turmoil, but also putting you off on somebody else and not my black girlfriend. So I think it was that, but also it it went too far, because once it got to this point of like, you see Belle hugging up on Sky and disrespecting Leanne, that's blatant disrespect, bro. Like, why is your hand on him? Why are you so close to him? Look at the body language, and look at Scott's hand whole while. And I think that is another layer too. I think maybe Whitney, also, if you do want to add a little bit of like shade to it, maybe she does think she's cuter than Leanne. Maybe she does think Bella's cuter than Leanne, or they're better paired for Scott than Leanne is. Maybe she feel like Scott needs more of a fiery girl. Maybe she like Leanne's sweetness cannot handle Scott. Whatever it is, it was messy, and I think she has to know when to hold him and know when to fold it, and know when it's time to move on, and like when it's not your business no more. And I think in this situation, it was just a situation where it's not her business. It just not. But yeah, these Welsh boys between Kieran and Scott, they have had a crazy week. Let me see if I can find the video of Scott making it official, because regardless of what Belle and Whitney continuing to go on these podcasts and say it's fake, it's real, it's fake. I mean, the material speaks for itself. The proof is in the pudding. Look at that. Oh my God, look at that. Oh, so in love. Oh, so beautiful. The proof is in the pudding. Come on. So you can say what you want. You can say, oh, it's just for PR. Oh, it's this, is that. It's their PR. It's their life to live. If they decide to be in it for PR, then that's their business. So be it. What is it to Whitney to have so much like venom for it? That's my problem. It's like, Whitney, you can have an opinion, but why so much venom for it? Why so much action on whether or not these two are together or not? That's the part I don't understand. When they look like a beautiful couple. Okay, here's the video. Let me play it for you guys where they made it official tissue.
Es escalofriante tenerte de frente, hacerte sonreír.
And there was another one too, but I don't know if I grabbed that one. Let me see. There was one where he like made it official. Let me see if I can find that one too. I don't know if I downloaded that one. I downloaded a few of them. I think I downloaded one more like an opinion piece on it. Is this the one with that same girl? Let's check this one out. What's this one? Yeah, I was really invested in this. I downloaded a bunch of them. This one is like more of another Scott talking about. This is one with Whitney talking about the situation. Again, I feel like where she wasn't minding her own business as much. This is back when they were in the villa, and she had so much to say about whether or not Scott should be with Leanne, because I feel like in this situation, yes, I guess she felt like, okay, you're asking my opinion, so I'm able to give my opinion. And if you're going to accept my opinion, that's your business. If you don't want to accept my opinion, that's your business. But I'm going to give my opinion because you asked me for it. And so in this clip that's loading, she's basically saying, Scott, I think you would be a better pick for Leanne. This is for those who didn't actually watch Love Island and just watch like the little clips on TikTok. This is one of those situations where she's talking to Scott about it, and she's trying to let him know why Belle would be a better pick for her. And people are saying this in this moment, she's being really like inauthentic and phony, and that she shouldn't have never put herself in that situation.
That surprised me quite a bit, I think it was surprising her, like, as the conversation was going, how much it was just flowing. I didn't expect that. Now I'm like,
Leanne? Well...
Well, you don't sound convinced.
I'm not.
Why?
Because I'm just not.
Why are you not convinced?
Because like, lifestyle-wise, it's very different.
Yeah.
She's heavy on finances and security from a man.
You saying I can't offer finances and security?
I didn't think that was your type, but as long as you're happy...
What do you mean that's not my... You know I don't have a type.
But how you think about Scott? Because you know Sammy's his type.
Well, that makes me feel sick.
You need someone that's going to challenge you and actually get through to your head. And if I look at the characteristics of, out of the two, who has more of a stubborn strength about them that can actually take you on, it would be Sheer.
You brought this to me. You brought this to me.
Yeah, and Scott brought a lot of shit to you. You had shit to say.
Okay.
So allow it, man.
What's that got to do with anything?
What do you think about me and Leanne? Do you think that's
Nothing
something
to
that
do with
would
it.
stand the test of time?
I can't answer that question for you.
You can answer that question because I'd answer it for you.
What woman helps you grow and who's going to help you grow as a man? It has to be a logical decision. I personally feel like it would be leaning towards Belle.
Whitney was saying, like, you need to start thinking more logistically for the outside instead of emotionally. And logistically, Belle makes more sense, basically.
I don't love that.
Yeah, I'm not.
Because I
Whitney
think
said
if
that?
you really love someone or anything, logistically,
How
you can
far- what's
figure it
the-
out.
When it comes to dating, relationships, we're afraid of being hurt. But that's the risk you have to take if you want to get the shit that you want.
As Scott's friend, I wanted to ask a question for him, for his clarity.
Do you think Scott made the right decision choosing Leanne over Belle? 76% yes, 24% no.
I don't think public perception was relevant to my decision whatsoever.
The whole point was just to clear that up for you. So, no shade of it, you're welcome.
I didn't.
Let's see. Can you guys hear me? Okay. So, yeah, as you can see, I don't know if in that moment I feel like Whitney was being the most like kind. I feel like she just was a little bit too I don't know, in their business, I guess. Like did I finish the video? Oh no, I didn't finish it. Sorry guys.
It is what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your friendship with Scott, Whitney, because you were always quite open with him. He lent on you for advice a lot of the time. Why, at that time, do you think you felt like Belle was better suited to him?
I feel like the woman at that time he described was Belle in terms of like upbringing and family vibes.
And what do you think of Leanne and Scott's relationship now?
They're vibesy.
They're vibesy. Whatever that means. Like, I don't know. That's just like what I feel like. I feel like it was just unnecessary for Whitney to put her 2 cents in. It had nothing to do with her. I feel like in certain situations, maybe that's something she'll learn as she grows and like becomes like a better girl's girl and a better friend, that you don't have to involve yourself to every situation. You don't have to be in every situation. You don't have to you could just let people live their lives and then they come up with how they want things to be. You don't have to be the judge and juror of everybody's relationships. So that's my 2 cents on Scott and Leanne. Whether or not they like it or not. Let me see if I have any other videos, because the girl, I was in it. The Scott and Leanne thing. This is one explaining, if you guys want to watch this with me. I kind of already explained like the gist of it, but if you guys want to hear, this is the gist of the situation with them. Maybe we'll listen to that too, because it's Saturday. I'm not in any rush today. I do think I might take these braids out. I don't know. My baby girl was like, I love them. Don't take them out yet. So, but my birthday's next week. So I'm like, I wanted a new look. But then again, it's like they are kind of pretty. So maybe I'll keep them in for one more week. But I feel like for my birthday, I need a new look. I don't know. I'm still deciding. What you guys think? Should I keep the braids? Should I take the braids? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. But it's time to take something out your head. But I had them for like a month, and I love them and everything. Maybe 2 months. I had them for a while now, girl. Be honest with you. But when when you know it's time to take them things out your head. I'll be ready to. I'm like one of the people that change my hair a lot anyway by nature. So when I'm ready for a new look. Anyway, back to Scott and Leanne. I'm actually trying to wait for this video to load. And then once it loads up, I'll let you guys see it. But yeah, so I don't know. My daughter just basically like, you should keep them. They look so pretty. And I'm like, yeah, I do love them. This is actually the new Miracle Knot style. I did it myself. So that's why they came out so nice
Twitter
and
is
like
having
so
a
full this
meltdown
time.
with
And
these
so
two.
maybe
Let's
I'll
go
just
through
get
it.
some more
Also,
of the
the
same
concept
hair
of
and do the
this
same
happening on
style
April Fool's
again.
Day,
Because
not
that's
lost on
another
me.
thing.
We
Like,
had
okay,
two
if I take it
podcasts
out,
today.
I don't
The
even have
first was
nothing to
with
replace
Belle
it.
and
I have
Jamie
like
Lang.
similar
The
hair
second was
color,
Whitney with One Me
but just
Bello.
like
First off,
regular
One Me is a great
regular
interviewer,
hair.
10 out of 10. Not
Okay,
watched
let me
the
let y'all
whole
get the
podcast. I've
breakdown.
seen quite
This
a few clips
girl,
and a
the
bit
same
longer
girl that
clips,
explained the
and the whole
tie,
time she's
I like her
let me
page. She
clear that up.
explains
Let me
it,
check
breaks
out
it all
gaps that
down.
make
So
sense. But
let
she's
me
asking
bring
the
her
right
up
questions. Anyway,
so you
both
guys
these
can hear.
podcasts come out. This
Let me bring her up so you guys can hear her explain everything. I like this girl. She was the same girl that explained the Ty and Ellis, not Ty and Ellis, the Ty and Sammy situation. So I feel like if she explained Ty and Sammy situation so well, she can also explain the Scott and Whitney beef down to the T. Even though I feel like I explained it good enough, but she's gonna give you like even more insight than look, she got text messages, all that. Like, all right, let's listen to her.
Twitter is having a meltdown with these two. Let's go through it. Also, the concept of this happening on April Fool's Day, not lost on me. We had 2 podcasts today. The first was with Belle and Jamie Lang. The second was Whitney with Wunmi Bello. First off, Wunmi is a great interviewer, 10 out of 10. Not watched the whole podcast. I've seen quite a few clips and a bit longer clips. And the whole time she's like, let me clear that up. Let me check that. That doesn't make sense. So she's asking the right questions. Anyway, both these podcasts come out. This tweet is what started it all. So someone says, Scott found out his favourite girl when he went to the dentist. Scott found out the public wants him with Leanne when he went to the dentist. So basically saying that their stories didn't align. However, I'm pretty sure both of them said that Scott went to the dentist multiple times. Also, in both podcasts, they alluded to the fact that Scott was basically producing what he thought the public wanted. At the point he found out Belle was popular, he went to Whitney, and that's how that conversation allegedly happened, that he was like, oh, who do you think I should go for? And Whitney, knowing him for so long and being his friend, read between the lines and told him to go for Belle. So that's kind of like where the situation stems from. And then when he went to the dentist again, he found out that people really want him with Leanne, and apparently Harrison told him that everyone wants him with Leanne. So therefore, that's why he spun back and was like back focused on Leanne. Anyway, back to the mess of today. So Scott then quote tweets this: 3 weeks to cook up a story and clear their name. This is the best they could do. The problem with agreeing to lie is you're always going to slip up. Whitney then responds, as your founder, don't try me because I will not conform to your lies. All this for clout. So sorry for you. She then posts this screenshot. I'm not really sure what this was going to prove, but I think it's just because he's not actively denying it is why she thought it proved something. Belle also quote tweeted Whitney's tweet, said, I don't see him denying it, but then now he is, lol, okay. By the way, this tweet also made me laugh. Someone said the concept of Leanne saying run it up. Honestly, Twitter's very entertaining when something kicks off, I will say that. This whole situation is such a mess, and actually quite sad because they've had like a friendship for a few years that they've now lost. Also, on the clips of the podcast I've seen, Whitney says that they came out the villa, they got their phones back. She said that, oh, we're in Stan Wars to Leanne. Leanne was like, yeah, well, my friends say you're not my friend. Whitney wanted to fix it, but they didn't appear to want to, allegedly. She also said, Scott said he would go on a podcast and basically correct everything and talk about everything rather than doing a post because he didn't feel like he wanted to post about it. He felt like he actively needed to speak on it. I haven't watched the full podcast yet, so if there's anything else, I will cover that and then make another video. This whole thing, though, is such a mess. Also, we're in April. The new series is starting in 2 months. It starts in 9 weeks. 9 weeks, guys. You've got 9 weeks. Need this wrapped up. I don't want to be talking about All Stars anymore. But while we're here, it appears Tyreek and Sammy are on a Moroccan getaway. So he posted this. He's posted this and tagged where they both are. Also, every week something new comes out about All Stars, like new people, new stuff. It's just too much. It's too much. I haven't got the energy for it. What do you guys think about the whole situation? Let me know in the comments.
Okay, so you guys see everything, and I love this creator. I feel like this creator is really like, she's a one. So follow her. Make sure you follow her as well. So anyway, neither here nor there. I just think it's so funny because at the end of the day, it's such a historical reason that they have issues with one another that really have nothing to do with Leanne. I feel like at the end of the day, Leanne is the reason that Scott is saying so calm, so cool, and like we never seen this guy before. Even Tyreek said it when he was on that podcast, Not My Bag. He was like, I liked them. I think they should have won. He was like, they seem like they are a really loving couple. And like, I just think they're getting too much drama and flag back for just liking one another. And I think that's the thing. Like, we should not be too kind of cynical about these young loves. Like, who thinks they're gonna be together for the rest of their life? Nobody. But if they are, cool. Cheers to them. Like, who's mad? My mama used to say, ain't nobody mad but the devil. So I'll leave it there. That is my Scott, Leanne, Whitney Bell drama. It was just like a lot going up. So that was in this picture, like it says, this sums up the whole scenario in one pic. It's a girl who friends are riding for her, Belle, and they feel like she should have got the man, versus the girl who they feel like is not for Scott, not his typical type, maybe not strong enough for him. Very like, but she's strong in her own quiet femininity, right? But this is their opinion, it's not mine. So yeah, that's what I think that sums it up to. Like, just everybody opinion is like assholes. Everybody has one. So we'll leave it at that. Scott is happy, Leanne's happy, and bravo to these two, and they are official. They just made it official, guys. They are boyfriend girlfriend now. So regardless of what anybody has to say, it's just him and his girlfriend. Now the ride to the very end just got in the end. Anyway, on to the next one. Speaking of crazy, all over the place personalities and people who are always butting and putting their opinions where it don't belong. The main guy who does that in the whole world, Mr. Kanye West. Classic Kanye. Kanye is back. The stage setting is amazing, stunning, beautiful, very artistic mind, very troubled mind, very Picasso. You know what I'm saying? Like those people are beautifully troubled, right? Edgar Allan Poe. Very much black Edgar Allan Poe. Black cat. Like it just gives that. So Kanye is here. I don't know what he's doing with himself, but apparently people are not really happy that he's back. At first it was like this big grand thing, like Kanye is back, Kanye's back. He's doing his tour. It's amazing. This imagery is beautiful. Da da da. Because again, he has a beautiful mind. But unfortunately, that beautiful mind gets him in trouble because of the things of his past. Like, the Ghost of Christmas Past. He cannot escape who he once was, who he is, what he says when he has those bipolar episodes. And I've dealt with family members who go through that dark time, who has had bipolar disorder and things like that. And you see them crash out and like literally lose all control of their lives. And it's really sad to watch, like unfortunate because these can be like such beautiful people, beautiful minds otherwise, but when they get in that space, they just kind of torment their own selves and they kind of just become like very toxic people. And so I think that's what happened with Kanye. Like no matter what, like how successful he is and how beautiful his music is and things like that, like he gets in his own way. And that's kind of what we see right now. But before we get into kind of like some of the mess of it, I did want to shout out this cute little part of him and North. Let me see if I can add that back here. Because I thought their like moment on stage was really adorable and cute, and I felt like this, and I'm not like an apologist because we'll talk about that. I'm not like an apologist for the things these men have done. I feel like the consequences that they get are warranted, especially when you're talking about the Jewish community, the Black community, and like how we are impacted, especially the Black community by like all this negative talk. I don't think people it should be taken lightly. Let me see if I can find the clip. Oh, here it is. Of him and Northy. But I do always want to remind people, especially on this page, like we are dealing with human beings. And when people are dealing with turmoil and trauma and I'm not gonna they say that Lamar Odom movie on Netflix is like basically we're glorifying his trauma and he's using it as an excuse for his actions.
I know let's do something new.
But I do want to say, I'm going to talk about this while his baby's on the screen. I do want to say, like, I feel like a lot of Kanye's trauma is as a result to these actions. Like, because of those traumas, he has these big overreaching reactions to things. And I think the bipolar effects that goes on and that mental imbalance, that chemical imbalance makes him do these like really nasty things because even the family members that I know that have bipolar disorder, they do really eat like mean things sometimes and really evil things when they're in the episodes. And then it's like Jekyll and Hyde, like when they come out of them on the other side, they're like really kind and loving people. And then when they're in these episodes, they're like, who is this person? So somebody who dealt with it and like not, I haven't personally had bipolar, but I've dealt with family members who have. And it's like to see the night and day of it all. Like I kind of feel bad for the family. I feel bad for Kanye because again, they can't control it to a certain extent. Like they are just like their minds are just moving a mile a minute. It's called that's why it's called bipolar. So at one point they're super manic. They're like on this high, and then at another moment they're like depressive. So it's manic depressive. They're on this super high, like they'll spend all their money in their bank account, they'll crash their cars, they'll crash out in their lives, they'll ruin their jobs. And then and these are people who do not have Kanye West protection or money. And then they'll go manic, and there's this deep, dark depression where they become sloths. They don't want to clean, they don't want to, they drink every day, they get in these really dark, dark places. So you see that duality of the mind, and there's nothing they can do about it. The only thing that kind of helps is the medicines. And if they're of a certain age, you can't force a grown up to take medicine. So it's a really sad disease to watch. And again, having people who I know personally that struggle with it, I have a real strong empathy for people with bipolar disorder. People don't understand it. Like Maya Campbell is another one. She's now managing it, but you can see down that she is on a medication. She can barely speak at times. Like she speaks very slow, very slurred. And that's another thing. There's so many side effects of the medicine that they take. Like they have slurred speech, their tongues get stuck to the root of their mouth. It's just they got glazed over eyes. Like it's really sad to see them on the medication. They're not themselves, they're zombies. And then it's them off the medication, they're themselves for a good amount of time, sometimes years, 5, 10 years, and then boom, the episode will happen. Not drug induced, not alcohol induced. It's just the chemical imbalance of the mind. And then they just come and boom, they're on this speed. You can kind of see it happening slowly. Like they'll start like just have these grandiose ideas, but the ideas will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger till they're off that cliff, right? And they spend all this money on this idea. And then on the other end, they'll have like these from once they have that high, then they come down off that initial crash, that cliff, then they get sadder and sadder that they made those decisions while they were on that cliff. And it's just a rotating cycle. So again, I'm not defending Kanye, but people have to understand the mind behind the bipolar disordered brain. So let's get into something more positive. I wanted to show you guys a video of Northy and Yay. And as I do these lives on the weekend, they are going to be pretty long because I'm not like rushed to talk through everything. And I'm covering like a whole week's worth of information as opposed to like what we do in my quick mic drops that started in my car. Those were like, I had to tell y'all all the news in like 45 seconds. Here, I have more time to like sit back, relax, and talk to y'all. So let me know if you like the longer form, if you like the quick bites size ones, let me know. We can do both. So let's show North with Kanye here. Yes, Dorothy. Yes. And I that's my whole thing. Like we have to remember, and I'm sure obviously we're the Black community feel the same way, the Jewish community, any other community is assaulted. But we have to remember these people have children, they have families, they have people to look up to them. And I love that North really loves her daddy. So I just thought this was a beautiful moment. You know, I'm all about like telling y'all the information, but I also like to humanize things where I can and kind of have a more practical approach to things. So when I saw this moment of Northy and her daddy, clock it. And again, this is another like beautiful concept of the scene. You can see like he has a beautiful, beautiful mind. And then his daughter, look how fly she looks. Northy looking like, hey, 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 hey. And I just love that. Like I just love seeing a daddy's girl. You guys know I was daddy's girl as well. To the Sarge, love you, daddy. So my daughter's a daddy's girl. Like my mama was a daddy's girl. Like we daddy's girls over here. So I love seeing these moments with little girls and their fathers, and they're being like lifted up by their fathers. And she has such confidence. And you can say what you will about Kim and Kanye and parenting, but what you can't say is that they're not raising a daughter who lacks confidence. So they have a daughter who is very confident in who she is and coming into the world. That's a hard thing to do because when you leave them on their own and you leave them in a world that tries to break them down, having confidence will take her a long way. And he's building that confidence in her. And I love that. I'm like, go Northy, girl. Clock it. Clock it. You ate. And so let's go to the bad news. Unfortunately, though, her dad, he did not eat. Okay, because he was canceled. He was canceled. So after this amazing, magnificent concert at the SoFi in I don't know, the West Coast, I think it was LA or Cali. Y'all let me know in the comments where it was. He was then scheduled to perform in UK. So this is UK. He was going to be with the Wireless, and they said as a result of the Home Office banning Ye from entering the United Kingdom, Wireless Fest has been forced to cancel. All tickets holders will receive an automatic full refund. You heard how they worded that. They said this is the UK fault. This is not our fault. This is the Home Office, because they know. And the thing about it is, it's gonna be like infamy. You guys ever heard of infamy? The cancellations are going to make him even more rich. And I know Kanye, this is like a bruise to his ego, but he understands at this point that all publicity is good publicity when it comes to fame. So now they'll just have to charge, like he'll just charge a really high prices for private viewings to see him, and he'll be like more of a wonder. It's like my mom always say, a woman carries a mystery about herself. I tell y'all guys that like almost every week. But it also applies to people in general, like people who are mysterious and don't like always put themselves out there. And even Prince said this to Beyonce: stop doing interviews. And he told her that because the price of your interviews will go up, and the price of your mystique of your fame will become like grandiose, right? And that's what has happened with Beyonce. Same thing is going to happen with Kanye. Kanye don't want that. He really wants to be out there. He wants to be in your face. He wants to jump on stage. He wants to be like, but at the same time, in the grand scheme of marketing, this is going to be a big money booster for him, because now he's just like this quiet little like thing that you can kind of do in the dark. You know, those rich people, they love to do things in the dark. We already know that. They're gonna pay a lot of money to get Kanye to do things in the dark. So it's like a prohibition, like when they said in Atlantic City and they were selling it. You know, you guys watched Boardwalk Empire back in the day. Like they wanted to have the alcohol, so they made it a thing. You came down to Atlantic City, you went over to Vegas, and you had your fun. And that's kind of how they're positioning Kanye to be. They're positioning him to become a very rich man if they keep canceling him. Because guess who's not going to cancel him? North Korea. Guess who's not going to cancel him? China, Japan. So the East, the whole East is still going to be able to get Kanye. So then those flights over there for those Kanye concerts are going to be like astronomical. And guess what? That's going to affect their economy. And the United States have already seen that because he's been touring all of the East. We're not getting news about Kanye, but Kanye is a certified super duper 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 star in the East. They don't care about none of this stuff that we care about over here. So while he's traveling and selling out shows, and his label is like, oh my God, where all this money seeping through our fingers, they're like, all right, we bring him back to America so we can get some of this money in America, instead of feeding their economy over there in the East. Keep continuing to give them millions and millions of dollars for the concerts he's having all over the East. There's a whole nother world out there. It's not just the West over here, Western world. There's an Eastern world. So they brought him home. Yeah, there's backlash, but you see this weekend he's back at the SoFi, because America's not going to let that money go out of their hands. They're like, you UK, you don't want the money, but we need the money right now. We need Kanye's revenue. So is money talks, bullshit walks, and at the end of the day, I think Kanye would be fine. Do I support what he's done and what he said? Absolutely not. Do I think he'll have a longevity and an amazing career with or without America? I do. With and without the UK? Absolutely. Many have had amazing careers without the UK market, but that's neither here nor there. So that was that. And this celebrity black backlash continued. It didn't just go towards like Kanye getting canceled. It actually went to a few others too. So here you'll see a full list of like all the celebrities that were canceled and like had backlash. Oh, I wanted to show you guys how beautiful his stage was first before we got into the mess. You know, I dress before the mess. I always try to get you a little shade, but a little cute. Positivity and negativity. We balanced. So look how beautiful his staging is. The artistry is there. So as you can see, we were talking about the Earth earlier. So he's clearly a Earth geek and a what do you call it, astronomy geek like me. Like I literally was just looking at pictures about this, and like you guys know, we're like, was it 50 billion years away from getting engulfed into the sun? Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew that. We're gotta be out of here. Did you know all of like the Middle East where there's like the Sahara Desert and everything? Do you know that was all greenery and plush? Yeah, that's all getting like sucked away. Sorry to be a Debbie Downer, but yeah, it's true. So this is all his beautiful scenery. Like, oh my God, like you can say what we want about the man, but the mind is a terrible thing to lose. So beautiful. I think I have one more of the like, oh no. So this is the celebrity list. You guys can see it here. So in this list, we have a few celebrities there. We have um Diplo, we have Dave Chappelle, we have Erica Badu, we have Rod Wave, Coi Leray. We have Chloe Bailey. We'll get back to her. You see, she's highlighted. We have Wendy Harlow, Paul Pierce, Kevin Gates. The list goes on and on and on. India Love, of course, she'd be there. The game. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. So the interesting thing about this is people are really mad at like all these celebrities, at me seeing all the celebrities at the concert, Kanye's concert, And then we have this here where we have her um getting a lot of backlash. The next one is Chloe Bailey. Just give it a second to load up. So people are really upset about Chloe Bailey attending, even though other celebrities have attended. So as you can see, they said, Chloe, now when no one streams your next album because you're supporting a man who said slavery was a choice and made a song praising Hitler, I hope you feel that in your soul too. And it's crazy because years ago, Chloe has always been a fan of Kanye, even back before much of the backlash happened. So she said, "Who are you influenced by? What music has been influencing your debut album? We know some of your overall influences, but who's been doing it for you in this moment creatively?" Asked Chloe. And she says, Kanye first, Khalees, Imogen Heap, Donna Summer, etc., etc., right? So as we can see, she's always kind of put Kanye on this pedestal. And I don't know why, but Chloe has get this really bad backlash. Like all these celebrities on this list, I haven't heard nobody say nothing about Erica Badu, because you know why? Erica Badu gonna be like, yeah, I did it. And what? But because Chloe comes off like really sweet, I was just watching a video about what it was a company. I can't remember the daggone name of the. Hold on, what was the name of the company? Let me look. Give me a second. It was a company about leather, right? Leather purses. And I want to say Vivian. It wasn't Vivian Westwood, was it? No, hold on. I gotta find this now. Cause you know how when you thinking of something? Um Anyway, I'll tell y'all a story now. I'll tell you the company. So there was a company that was really upset. Stella McCarthy. I found it. Okay. So Stella McCarthy, she is selling luxury bags the same way Louis Vuitton is selling luxury bags, the same way Steve Madden sells their like low brow version of the luxury bags, the same way Prada and everybody else is selling these bags, right? The difference is Stella McCartney came out and said that her bags are vegan and they are good for the earth. That was her whole branding when she first started her company. So when she was putting out PVC bags that are terrible for the environment because she realized the cost, she was calling them like excuse me, it wasn't called faux leather. What was it called? Vegan leather. That wasn't a term back when Stella McCarthy came out. So she was basically selling plastic bags that were like a designer because she was using like higher quality, like brass pieces and chains and things like that. But it was still plastic. So because she kind of came out and said that she was doing the right thing, the saving the environment thing, the vegan free, animal cruelty free bags, people expected her to continue to do that without hurting the planet, not realizing they're buying plastic bags, which are terrible for the environment. So because she's not doing something that's animal cruelty, she's still hurting the environment by doing plastic. And I think that's kind of what happened with Chloe. Like she comes off very sweet, very innocent, very like good. And because of that, people hold her to a higher standard. And even though all these people are on this list, they have pointed out Chloe as being the hypocrite because she's supposed to be the good one. Like I said, y'all would not question Erykah Badu because she would put a curse on you. And you be walking around here with your head on backwards. So you don't mess with her. You mess with the sweet girl, Chloe. And just because I said that, I feel like Erykah Badu going to put some on y'all. Just because y'all messing with Chloe. I don't think she would like that. But neither here nor there. I feel like Chloe don't bother nobody. She don't mix with nobody. Like, yeah, she went to go see the Kanye West concert, but so did all these people in the audience. And half of these people probably tweeting about Chloe being there and liking their post. But all these people is going to see Kanye. And Chloe, y'all ripped her to stress for making a song with Chris Brown. Yeah, all those celebrities done made Nicki Minaj, all them celebrities made songs with Chris Brown. Hundreds of celebrities. Even right now, Usher going on tour with Chris Brown. I don't hear y'all talk about it. But when Chloe did a video with Chris Brown, it's like y'all ripped her to shreds. This girl cannot win. And so this is one of the reasons people were really upset with Chloe, because they feel like he talked about Kanye's kids. I mean, Beyonce's kids. And, you know, Beyonce is Chloe's mentor slash manager. These are the nasty things that Kanye West said about Jay-Z and Beyonce's children. Leave that there. I'm not going to read it. I've already read it. You can read it for yourself, or you can move on. And then this is Chloe at the event. She living her best life. I ain't going back and forth with you. And I'm happy she's living her best life. She's like not doing anything. She just listens to the beats and trying to be inspired by the beats. And I think that's how Chloe is. She's really sweet. Like, she's not trying to get caught up in like Kanye's mess. Like, she just enjoys like the sonic of it, the beauty of it. And I just think it would just, she's one of, like I said, many celebrities who are going, and she is just the one that gets the backlash because of who she is. Like, I remember, let me remove this video. I remember one time, my boss was telling me, like, you know, Nico, you don't really make mistakes that much. And so when you make a mistake, it becomes a bigger deal than when somebody else makes mistakes, because you don't make them that often. Like, you almost kind of like, you come off like a perfectionist. So because of that, when you do something, it's going to be such a big deal. And I think that's the same thing with Chloe. Like, no matter what she does, like, it's going to be a big deal, because she kind of is held to a different standard than most celebrities are right now. And this is what people said about her. Her commitment to career suicide should be studied. Mind you, this man had a public fallout with her, with the head of her label, and talked terribly about her kids, along with the rest of his highly problematic history. And again, like, that's just one of those things where I don't think Chloe was thinking about that when she went. Even look at the picture she took. It's like of the actual like globe, and she's listening to the sonic beats, and she's gonna have to move a little bit more carefully and more cautiously, because she is in the spotlight, unfortunately. And people just hold her to a higher standard for some reason. But I think we should just leave Chloe alone. She ain't bother nobody. And I think Beyonce agrees with me because of, you know, booyah. This is what Beyonce posted. She of like her and Chloe together. Okay. She wanted to let y'all know, don't mess with my girl, okay? And so look at them together. Happy smiles. You know, Beyonce is a PR queen. Chloe looking good. Amazing, if you ask me. And I think it was just like a big F you to let you know, like, don't mess with her. Like, she's mine. I think she's doing amazing. She's a beautiful young girl, and I still have her back. And look how she's looking at y'all like, let her be. Don't play with her. And so I think that was beautiful. And, you know, Beyonce don't do no mess. So if she wasn't in support of Chloe, she would not have allowed Chloe to be in this image with her. She would not have made this such a public display of love and affection for Chloe. So I thought that was like just such a nice icing on the cake after all y'all was running y'all mouth saying like, you know, Beyonce and her was not getting along, and Beyonce was gonna basically penalize her for her actions. So basically, I love this too. So while Chloe was looking all good, she was playing video phone. So basically giving like, who said what? Who said what? what you gonna do? Let's not anyway. So and I just thought that was like really, really beautiful moment. And then obviously the reason for the event, which you guys saw earlier, was there was a sacred event where Beyonce was there with her mama Tina, Blue Ivy. Blue Ivy is starting to look exactly like Beyonce, which is crazy. And so, and I love this like fit that Beyonce had on here. Like she was looking good. Mama came to play, Mama came to slay, and all the things. And you can't deny, like, I don't know what's going on in the Carter clan, but they have been work. So I think they've like been outside. I don't know what they have planned and everything all together. But I hope whatever Beyonce has planned, it all works out for her. And I think like she's doing her big one right now. The sacred hair serums and everything are selling. This is her for her new styling product line. So this hopefully does well too. And she does numbers on it. So that's where she was. So speaking of Miss Chloe Bailey here and Beyonce, outside of that, we saw Blue Ivy there looking just like her mama. And to me, like overall, Beyonce, if you know anything about her, she's really good at turning lemons into lemonade, or I would say gumbo into chicken noodle soup. Sorry, Mama Tina had to. And the Brandy stuff, her name has just been buzzing. We buzzing. If you don't know, Beyonce said that after her Grammys win. She said we buzzing. So yeah, and the Brandy stuff, her name has been buzzing, good and bad. So I think she was able to turn that lemon into lemonades. If you guys didn't know, she was out in Paris. Her and Blue, look at Blue, looking just like her mama, honey. Yeah, look at Blue. Like it's amazing to see how far she's grown up. And they apparently this is Beyonce going into an event space in Paris. And so she was there, and apparently they're planning for Act 3. So this is all like the lead up to that. Don't know what they have in store, but look at Blue. Blue had herself on her shirt already branding. I love that. And Rumi was there too. I wasn't able to grab the picture of Rumi and add it in the last second. But yeah, Rumi was there too. So I thought they were really cute together hanging in Paris. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, all these children's out. Her 5011 children, her man outside, her mama outside selling gumbo. She outside selling hair, honey, and she got her artists outside. Speaking of being outside, she got Miss Chloe and Hallie outside. Look at them, and she's letting you know she still support them. This is also big sis, little sis, because while Blue is in Paris, Hallie is taking on Tuscany, girl, and so they're just doing their thing. But let me tell you a little bit about You, Me, and Tuscany. I've been watching all the reviews on it, everything. I haven't watched the movie yet, so I was gonna go this weekend and go see it. But again, this here, I don't know what I'm doing with it. Y'all will see me next week. If I still got it in, you know. But if I don't, you know. So we'll figure that out. But in the meantime, in between time, You, Me, and Tuscany. Let's talk about it. Baby sister Hallie. Talk about big sister Chloe. But let's talk a little bit about baby sister Hallie. She is doing her thing. As you can see, she is doing so many interviews, and I've watched every single one of them. Every single one of Hallie when she's outside doing these interviews, and it has been really nice to see her like branch out outside of Mermaid and outside of like her music career with Hallie, and kind of breaking that shadow of the Chloe Bailey shadow and just coming in a full standing of Hallie. I love that for her. So this video here I had to show you guys because they're looking good. Okay, listen up here. So you guys know that's gonna be muted later, by the way, because YouTube be hating on the sound lately, but neither here nor there. I'll put some like similar sounds over it if I can. But for you, the guys who are here live, you got to enjoy the music live. So yeah, I don't know if that's Hallie singing or if that's Janet Jackson. I don't know. It sounds like Janet Jackson, but it also sounds like Hallie. So I don't know who's who. But you know, Hallie sounds just like Janet Jackson. But they are like honestly just a beautiful couple. And I'm like, girl, Hallie, you look so good with this man. And y'all can't tell me this man is not in love with her. I captured this picture yesterday. Let me see if I got it still. Did I? Is it on? It might be on this phone that I'm on now. Hold on. Let me see. Did I capture it on this one? Oh no, I didn't capture it on this, but look at this picture too. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me go find it. Be in this together, honey. Which is the better image? Let's see. You're editing. That's baby girl. Do you ever see her come in? She wants to be in the mix, y'all. Okay, so we're gonna look at this picture. Okay, you can't see it. Can you see me? That's better. See me a little bit. Can you see me, guys? Sorry, guys. I went on this cough attack just now. Okay, so let's talk about these two right here, right here. Can you see me? Can you see me? All right, so I was watching Scott Evans last night. If you guys don't know, it's Evan Scott or Scott Evans. I watched his house guest show. He was like he's a anchor on Access Hollywood, I believe, or ETV. One of them. I think it's Access Hollywood. I want to say. So I've watched every interview that they've been doing on this show. The ones with Will Packer, the ones with just her and Reggae. And you know how Scott Evans has like a thing with making people very comfortable? Like he did the same thing with Rihanna because Rihanna loved him so much that she invited him to her home in Barbados. That's how you know you do a good job. When you get invited to Barbados by Rihanna. Okay. So he has that thing about him, and if you have watched his house guest show, you know he cooks for people, he get them wine, and he get them real like comfortable. And he even had like, did he have Michelle Obama on? Or no, I think he had Tina Knowles, maybe Michelle Obama too. But he had some big rigs on his show. I know he had Kamala, and so yeah, he know how to do that. So he did that same thing with Reggae and Hallie. He had them so open and comfortable that I was watching it last night. Y'all see it's dark. This is the middle of the night last night. It just go watch it. It's 50 after you get off of here. It's 15 hours ago. I just watched it. That's how he was looking at Hallie. That I literally had to stop and say, "What is this? What is this? That is real. You can't look at that vein in his throat. You can't fake that. You can't." So I don't know. I'm a y'all know me, certified lover girl over here. So when I saw that, I said, "Oh, there's love there." I again, she got somebody, he got somebody. Apparently, he's been with this girl for like 7 years. I looked it up. You know, I had to look up. So he been with this lady for 7+ years. She's been with her new guy for about a year and a half, maybe longer. We don't know their business. And so we know they have people. So no disrespect to the people. We're not a disrespectful people over here. We love love. We love love. They love their people. Beautiful. But I hope they maintain a friendship, because this type of love is like very pure, and it only comes in your life every so often. Like, you remember Bronx Tale Colodro. You get 3 loves in your life. First, you know what I'm saying? So this is one of her 3 great loves, and his too, apparently, because that look, this is not casted, this is not fake, this is not scripted, this is not him acting. This was a moment where Scott Evans just was talking and kikiing and being his goofy silly self, and he was asking reggae questions, and I just happened to catch this look. And I said, "What was that?" It just was like quick. So like I like screenshotted it because I wanted y'all to catch it. Because if you wasn't looking, you wouldn't have caught it. But I just happened to catch it. Oh, what did I catch? Y'all see what I caught? Y'all see that? Whoo! And now even Scott was like, "If a man look at me like that," honey. So yeah. Anyway, I can't wait to see the movie. I know it's cheese. I love cheesy movies. I literally was just watching, and I was gonna recommend y'all some movies because I was just watching another Tuscany movie on, I want to say Lifetime, and it was the same concept. So you know how like Lifetime is like the Steve Madden of movies. They know a movie come out, they about to make 50, 11 versions of it, like your movie. Same thing, kind of Hulu is doing now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get like 10 more black lead B-list actors doing these kind of Tuscany movies. So there was a Tuscany movie with I know all the actresses, but I don't know none of the actresses. Yeah. And so they were in Tuscany. It was 3 best friends. They went to Tuscany. A friend was a professor. Um, Let me see. Me, black film. Lifetime love story. I don't know. That's all I remember about the movie. What was the name of it? They only coming over you, me, and Tuscany. But it's another one. It's like happiness or something. Like I love happy. I love you. It was something silly and like. No, I can't find it. But next time we're on, if you know what, I'm gonna put it on Blue Sky. So go follow me on Blue Sky. And next time when I go look up the video and I find it on Blue Sky, I'm gonna put the name of the movie that I was talking about in today's live. So don't forget to follow me on all platforms, but also make sure you follow me on Blue Sky so that you can see the name of that movie I'm talking about. But yeah, in the movie, it's like 3 black women. One of them is a professor. She goes over to Italy to do her a stint there for a semester, and then she falls in love with this Italian man. Her best friends fall in love with different variations of their men and new men, and it's just a really beautiful story. And so there's going to be a lot of that. And I'm sure whoever wrote that film caught Will Packer's film was coming up and that they were going to be putting this out. So, or maybe they did a Tyler Perry, like just hurry up and rush to put it out. Because it was one of those type of films. So we're gonna get a lot of that, a lot of strong black leads. I hope you support them. I will be supporting the cheesiness. I love those cheesy movies. I watch them on my own time. Yes, it could have been an email, aka in a Lifetime movie, sure. But why? They put worse movies. You know how many New Year's, Valentine's Day, Christmas Day, all the movies we get with Ashton Kutcher every year, same movie. Why we can't have a cheesy rom-com with black leads in Tuscany and they don't do no work but be lazy and just hang out in Tuscany? You know how many white girls on TikTok just show up and be like, "Hi, today guys, I'm eating toast," and have 1 million views? Why these black kids can't just show up and be on camera drinking wine? Why? Well, we're gonna make it happen. That's why we're gonna make them being famous for being famous be a real thing. Speaking of being famous for being famous, oh, that leads actually me perfectly into my next topic. I'm getting good at this. So let's talk about this young lady here. She's the epitome famous for being famous. Let me make sure I deleted my videos. Come and need that space later. Okay. I don't think I have to do that. But she's the epitome for being famous for being famous. So this young lady, Miss Jordan Woods, if you don't know who she is, she's comes by way of Kardashian fame. Her father actually was a she grew up like to be a socialite and a rich girl in Hollywood, a black rich girl. Her father was of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air fame. He was a videographer, a photographer. He did some type of videography for or producing for the Will Smith show back in the day, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And then she grew up in that side of town along with the Kardashians. She became best friends with Kylie Jenner, who we know, who is a very famed friend of hers. And within that relationship, she was able to create her own unique branding. There was some controversy within their friendships that I'm not going to go over because I'm drinking water in my business and ain't got nothing to do with me. And so they've recovered over that. And so has she. And within that, she's kind of made her own lane, her own brand, and she's become like kind of an influence of her own, influencer on her own right, which has been beautiful to watch. And recently, she has gotten engaged to Carl Townsend, who plays for the New York Nets, I want to say. So she's been over there like dressing to kill, looking amazing, fly after fly outfit. So just want to say congratulations to her and like just continuing to be her beautiful, sweet, sweet self. And sometimes how you don't know that something that can come off to harm you can become your biggest blessings, right? You never know what is in the way of you being a full development of your best self. And this is one of those stories like if she would have stayed where she was at and not been thrown out in a sense and casted out, the stone that the builder refused, the Bob Marley song. That's kind of like her story, essentially, because of something that happened. They threw her to the curb, and with that, she had to make lemonade out of lemons, and she did just that. And so, respect to her. I hope she has a beautiful time. Look at her. Look at. Ah, yes. Yes, girl. So I love that for her. Hopefully, she has the most amazing wedding. And she's got, if you guys go to her Instagram, I just grabbed like two of the pictures, but she has pictures on pictures on pictures of her bridal shower, which was amazing and just a beautiful theme. So, congrats to Jordan. Another young lady who I would say initially started off famous to be famous, but she actually is, somebody now. Like, I don't know how I got to talk about her last week. I can't remember, honey, and I didn't feel like going back and checking before I hopped on here. But I wanted to remind you guys that Queen Naija is finally engaged to, what's the name? Clarence. Yeah. So she's finally engaged to Clarence after all these years y'all had talked bad about her. But baby girl said, I'm here. And so I'm very happy for her. Let me see if I don't know if I have the video for her, but I thought I did. Let's see. I know I might have I got this one, and I don't remember if I posted it last week or not. Let me know if I did. I think I'm not sure. So either way, she's been really happy about her engagement. She's been really like just I don't know. Let's see. Talking about marriage a lot. And she was happy that it happened. It wasn't in front of people, like nobody knew about it. And I think that's part of like how she wanted this. She said she said she didn't want us to like be all honey. Look at that ring. I had to go to her YouTube guys, so she's explaining why she said yes to clearance and everything like that. So I just wanted to say congratulations to Queen as well. I think she's gonna make a beautiful bride as well. I thought I was trying to talk about this last week, but I don't know if I did. So I like Queen. I've been following her for a long time since me and Queen are probably like around the same age. Let me see. How old is she? She might be a little younger than me. But I don't know. She younger than me. But I just feel like I remember listening to her for a long time. So I kind of used to watch her YouTube page. So I feel like I kind of grew up with her a little bit. So seeing how like where she is now and that dress, that's the same dress I wore to my wedding, honey. So hopefully, I don't know, she just remind me of myself a lot. Like, I don't know. She remind me of myself. I only got one husband and one baby daddy. But my husband is my baby daddy. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he maybe he'll act right. I'll be just like Queen. Huh, 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 huh. You know what I'm saying? Miss One, next 15, one coming. Don't never get caught up in these men. Don't never let you doubt your worth. Don't you ever forget it, right? Huh? What she say in that song? I forgot. Medicine. I give you a taste of your own medicine, baby. If you play with me. What is Queen Naja? She seemed like a Cancer. Queen Naja. Or she is? I think she might be a Libra. She is a Libra. Yeah, yeah. I do remember looking that up before. So she's a Libra. So she a relationship girl. She gonna stay in a relationship whether it's toxic, healthy, no matter what. She's gonna stay because Libras love love. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm on what she on. You play with me? I play with you 2 times. Anyway, next up we have after the fair. I these titles that I put on these videos are so funny. Like you can caption each thing. So this particular one I titled After the Fairy Tale because we just saw we saw the first girl, Jordan, super into her fairy tale, into her love story, like giving very much Zendaya and Tom Holland. Like, oh my God, watch the video of Zendaya and Tom Holland. It was actually Zendaya with her new co-star for the drama. And he was literally like talking like kind of cynical about love, and maybe he's just caught up in the character of the drama still. And she was so in love Zendaya. She was like, oh my God. Sorry guys. I think I got my fan on. I think it's finally what I tell y'all every time I'm on here. It's too long. I usually turn off the camera for the jokes and all that and the coughs. The couth is gone. We're bearing at 2 hours. The couth is gone. We are just gonna be raw and real relatable. That used to be my old tagline. I should probably put that back. Hold on, let me do that while I'm thinking about it. That's how I used to start it off by saying we are raw, real, and relatable. But I stopped saying that for some reason. But I forgot about it. But yeah, we are. We raw, we real, we relatable. So Zendaya used to, she was basically so in love. She was talking about, oh my God, me and Tom Holland. I love him. He's so sweet. Like just all these beautiful things about her relationship and like what made her bond to him. And this old raggedy heifer was sitting there talking about, oh, I don't know about that. I would not tell my partner everything about me. I would not tell my partner everything about me. I don't know about that. I don't know about being too open with your partner. I don't know about telling your partner your business. Oh wow. Zendaya is literally just pouring her heart out about how open she was with Tom Holland, how she's known him since she was a kid, and this and this and this. And I'm like, get your hating behind out of here. Twilight. Speaking of Twilight, we were just talking about Twilight was Ty and Kieran. But yeah, I thought that was funny, like how in love. I mean, talk about in there. It's like this. Talk about in there. I'm a millennial. I don't know the difference because I'm the birthday. I don't know these things. I'm the birthday. Or you the birthday. We're gonna talk about that too. So I had named these things. Thank you for letting me go off there on the tangent. It's so fun. So I had named each title, right? So the first one with Jordan was I said a real love story. And then I put Queen Engaged, kind of like a jump start after your love story ends, right? And then because she has been in reality, she's been married before. Da, da, da. Then the next slide I put as after the fairy tale, and look who I got. I'm messy, huh? I'm sorry. Yeah, because this is Karen Huger. Can you believe that? This is after Fairy Tale ends, baby. This is when you've been there, done there, got the t-shirt. And I remember in the interview, no, when she first came back, she was talking with Ray, and I think Bravo was there, like, filming it. And she said, Ray, I heard her say this twice. She said it at the Bravo, then she said it on Sherry. She said, I love Ray, but I want to let you know, Ray, I am not the same Karen anymore. So I'm different. I've changed. And I think what she meant by that is she about to be outside. It was a reason her and Mia was like this when Mia first came on the show. It's a reason all them rumors about her being that outside girl exist. And I think because Karen had to like please Ray's aunt, if you remember that old episode, like season 1, where she had to like be Miss Prim and Proper and Miss Potomac for Ray's aunt, because Ray's aunt was very bougie and she had to carry herself a certain way within that family she was born into as well. Back in them like Bunktown country she from, Karen, she had to really always kind of pretend. But this is who she really always wanted to be. And I think going to prison and going to jail allowed her to be who she wants to be, wave her freak flag free. And you also know Karen loves a little bit of messy Ashley. This is very, very much Ashley energy. So it makes sense to me that she's now no longer going to be that perfect prim and proper mama. She's no longer going to be raised concubine or Thomas Edison's or whoever concubine she was. But she's now going to be fit, flirty, and I was gonna say 50, but I think she's 60. So you know she's in that bag, and rightfully so. If I spend a year in jail and I come out, I'm outside. This is it, and that is the reality of the situation. My mom always like, that's the reality of the situation. You know what I'm saying? This is the reality of the situation right here. Karen, this is over the fairy tale. The honeymoon is over, and she's gonna be living her best life. She ain't going back and forth with you or Ray. That's the only man she would have to go back and forth with. She ain't doing it. She doing what she want to do. She's on her own timing. And I think there's, again, like I said with the Tina Knowles, like a couple of weeks ago doing the gumbo thing, there's beauty to me, even though y'all bashing Tina for her gumbo. I think there's beauty in getting up every day at 70 years old, going into a fair, looking good, putting your makeup on, your hair done, your nails done, your lashes done, and then just being outside. I just think that's a beautiful thing. I hope we all get to have that kind of longevity and strength and energy at 70 years old. Be the gumbo messed up or not. And that ain't really her fault. That's them two young boys who she met at that Oprah event. Sold her that gumbo, by the way. But be it she messed up with the gumbo, whatever. The fact that she's still up selling that stuff outside, getting dressed, living her life, and not being touted and fragile and kind of becoming like the stereotype of what an old lady is. She's showing us what we can be and aspire to be when we get older. And that's another flip side for Karen, too. Her at 60 plus years old, outside, showing us how life can be in our later years. Later is greater, baby. And I just hope Karen has a beautiful, fun later years. So, but I don't know. We'll see what's going to go on with her and Ray, because I don't know if Ray accepted all this. We'll see. So next up, for somebody who's been outside living their life, they didn't have to wait for later to be greater because they was already a whole lot of in their younger years. That is Miss K. Michelle. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about her. I do have this video that I wanted to show you guys of her. And I don't know how I feel about Kay yet. The verdict's still out. I have not watched the first episode yet. This is all I'm going to do that for next week, and I'll give you my honest opinion on what I think about K. Michelle then. For now, I'll tell you what I generally think about K. Michelle. Like overall, I never had a bad feeling about Kay. I feel like she's always been like a very a significant character when it comes to being on like reality TV for like a black character. Like she always showed up really strong on those TV shows. What was she on? Love and Hip Hop. I could not think of the name of that show to save my life. When she was on Love and Hip Hop, I did like her. I also watched her on the Queen's Court, and I liked her a lot on Queen's Court, way better than I liked her on Love and Hip Hop. Because sometimes for me, I know people love like the Nene Leakes. They love the
to watch black
Tishas from Love and Marriage Huntsville.
She don't supposed
They love
to be on
Monique
there.
and her
She
messiness.
don't fit.
I don't like
Well,
those kind of characters.
You haven't even picked up your
be
kids
fighting,
from day camp.
hitting on people.
How you gonna tell
Hold on, let
me
pause it.
I'm not supposed to be
Okay,
somewhere?
sorry. Hold on, it's not. Hold on. Okay, it's pausing. I don't like all them characters that be hitting on people, fighting people, and it's not my thing. And then I'm also recently turned off, and I posted this on my Blue Sky too. Let me read you what I said. I'm not a big fan of like certain traits, and it's not. I know she's like kind of been crying about her being hood and being judged for her hood past and like the violent past she has. But if you know, K Michelle is one of them kids that I used to talk about on one of my videos, like that grew up in a suburb but want to be hood so bad, and I'm like, why do you want to be here? Why you want to be in hood? Like her parents are professors. She come from really good stock. Like her mom has a good job. I forgot what it was. But she don't come from no brokies. She don't come from no low lives. She come from a very high class society. And she just kind of she chose the hood life, right? That she didn't have to be in that. So I wrote this about this is my Blue Sky. Don't forget to follow me on Blue Sky, guys, if you haven't already. It's so fun over there because I'm always tweeting something, or Blue Sky is I don't know what a what we call them, butterfly would be. Okay, so I said folks just letting K Michelle be on our screens as an R. Kelly lover, but wanted to cancel Robin over colorism. We aren't mad enough about women suffering, and no one finds it suspicious that Portia is supposedly an R. Kelly survivor as well. That's what Portia wrote in her book. And then I said, and then somebody wrote me back and said, oh, they didn't know that K Michelle was an R. Kelly lover. I said yes. In her latest interview, she said, I love that man. I love R. Kelly. Like, come on, read the room. I'm thinking, come on, read the room. Even if that is true for her, I need her to get some I need her to get the same backlash that Carisha and the rest of the Diddy apologists are getting. Why aren't we mad at Kay the way we are mad at Carisha? I don't think that's fair. I think the fact that she still is always got something nice to say about R. Kelly. And I feel like Teddy Riley did that too last week. They kept trying to normalize the R. Kelly thing for us. Because I feel like if they normalize that, then they can normalize the other stuff and the Epstein of it all. Even this Age of Attraction show, I always told y'all last week when I first reviewed it, they're trying to normalize PDF files. And I don't think that's cool. R. Kelly is a PDF file. So for her to say, I love that man. I think he's an amazing man. Get out of here with that. So that to me was a total turn off. There's a place and a time for everything. And even if you do believe that, you don't have to tell the world that you believe that. That's a nasty thought. And some thoughts are better left unsaid. And that was one of them. So this is her talking and ripping down Robin in that same interview. But that she said she loved that man, R. Kelly, which so disappointing to her. So let me let y'all hear that.
Do you know how disgusting it is to watch black women? She don't supposed to be on there. She don't fit. Well, you haven't even picked up your kids from day camp. How you gonna tell me I'm not supposed to be somewhere because of my past? Because I was open enough to show you my life, what you've dealt with, you gonna say I'm not good enough or this enough to be on a TV show?
Are you talking about Robin Dixon?
Forget Robin. She's a couch potato. We don't care about no Robin Dixon. She can't even be content in the fact that her husband or whatever he call himself don't want her. Are we finna do that? You can't keep a job. Let's not talk about me with every accolade that you will never see unless the rapture comes. You can't talk to me about where I'm supposed to be, where God placed me, where production and anything. There are housewives that are me, that feel like me, think like me, look like me, gone through what I gone through. Ain't a housewife show supposed to show the real housewives?
And you're a real housewife.
I'm a real housewife. It don't matter if it was a whole cult trying to do it before. I'm a real housewife. Like, for real. I got a real man that really love me. I got real life. My shit don't be perfect. I'm really trying to get it together. I really want another child. And for you to sit there as on a couch selling t-shirts, telling t-shirts, hats, caps, or whatever you trying to sell and think it's a joke. You and the other one over here like a little devil. Y'all over here laughing.
Who's the other one?
Just sell, just hell. For y'all to sit there and try to laugh at another, like, why you laughing? What is funny? What is funny is my accomplishment trumps and laps all of y'all accomplishments. I could die right now and you still wouldn't catch up.
And in bed with R. Kelly. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, people will do stuff and say stuff like that. You're better. My mother say everybody can't go where you go. And sometimes you don't want to be where they at. If you had somebody bag and another person bag, you pick your bag and bring it right back over to you. You don't know what K. Michelle done been through. And it might not be the same level of what Robin been through. So the fact that she's sitting there trying to bash Robin because she has this success, this monetary success, when we know who else got monetary success, Justin Bieber. But would you take Justin Bieber's life over your life? Your regular Robin life, as Kempire calls regular Robin, right? And speaking of Kempire, he actually did a back-to-back of what K. Michelle said about Giselle and Robin versus what versus what Robin and Giselle actually said. And what they said was not warranting this type of behavior and attitude. And that's the thing I don't like about K. Michelle, because she do go from 0 to 100 real quick. And it's like sometimes that can be low brow. And there's no reason for that. And then you see that a lot. Like, I'm from the hood. And my mama say I'm from down here. I'm from around here. I've been trying to get out. And she's not from the hood. And she's not from that life, right? So for her to always chase it and portray it and want to be a part of that so bad, to glorify somebody like Robert Kelly as a good man, it's delusional. It's like they be wanting that lifestyle so bad. For what? But that's not my business. And I don't know how I feel about her being on a show. I think y'all will come around to how I'm feeling. I think y'all will see what I'm trying to say. Like, yes, I think she has a beautiful soul, right? Same thing I said one long time ago, a couple of years back, about Jocelyn Hernandez. Beautiful souls, just so tormented and damaged, right? That they are misguiding and they aren't in love with who they can be. So they have this hard shell on the outside, but on the inside they're really soft. So they create this hard shell to be sweet on the inside. God knows what Robert Kelly did to her, right? If we have an idea of what he did to Portia, the girl who's also wrote about being in R. Kelly's cult, and also is the girl who ushered her on the show. Industry is a really dark place. And if I had to take a few little cheating scandals by Juan versus R. Kelly scandal when he's sleeping with little girls, I think I'm gonna take the Juan Dixon scandal. So, just be careful what you asking for. Be careful how you judging people, because just as much as she feel judged by black women, saying it's disgusting, but black women are judging her. Look at how nasty and disgusting she judged Robin and Giselle. Hate begets hate. Hurt begets hurt. And that's the bottom line of that. Like, K. Michelle is a very hurt, bruised person. And I feel like that is going to drag the entire series to a certain level that I don't know if it's ready to go. Y'all thought Nene was bad. K. Michelle might be worse. But I loved her on Queen's Men. I thought she was a really sweet girl. Watching it, I really enjoyed her. So I hope she brings more of that K than that K. Because that right there, that's nasty. That's my 2 cents on it. I don't know how she's going to perform on the show, but she does come off sometimes as it's just real rude, low down, and dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like just low down and dirty and just not a nice person. And I don't think she always intends to come off like that because she was very popular. I remember even I don't know where I watched it. I became Michelle like fan. I liked her. And so when I watch her, I do watch her. I remember watching something when she was talking about being like a part of, maybe it was her unsung. I think I watched her unsung a long time ago. She was talking about how she was like a part of like the royal court of her college, very famous, and she got pregnant young, and how impactful that was and how her parents were there to support her, but she also missed out on parts of her own life, and how smart she was, and she got a scholarship for yodeling, and just really interesting life, like really beautiful life, even like her going into country and Beyonce thanking her for opening doors, and just like she has an amazing life. Like, you know, there's a movie called Big Fish where I tell you guys about this movie every so often, but it's a story of a son at his father's funeral, and his father's been telling all these grandiose stories all his life, and when he finally meets his father, he realizes that the stories are true. And I think that is K Michelle in a nutshell. Like once she looks back and tells the stories of her life, they're gonna seem so like so fantastical that they almost seem fake, but they are real. Like her story is real, and it's a really beautiful and interesting story. I just think sometimes it gets clouded by the mess that she creates, right? The drama she creates to hide the wounds that she feels on the inside. And so I don't know how this is going to turn out for her, but this is either going to be a really good thing for Atlanta or it's going to be a really one time thing that they do, because they're what Robin essentially said was there hasn't been a crossover. Like they are recycling people in Atlanta, and it seems like they're running out of housewives to give. And that the fact that they're bringing love and hip hop people onto Atlanta, which is not a cross section that you think they ever do, does make it seem like they're kind of trying to go lowbrow. And I know like a lot of us, especially Black Americans, really like were upset with Mona Scott for the things that she did in terms of displaying that particular part of Black culture, right? So on national television, and then now making that the setting, and then we have like baddies, the background of things like baddies and such and such and such, and it just continues to, excuse me, feed this negative like ideology of what Black women are and how they show up on camera and show up to the world. And I'm not trying to get into like politics of like perfect politics or whatever they call it, and respectability politics of it all, but there is a certain level of like imagery that is shown for Black women across the world. And as much as she feels like it's disgusting that Black women don't want her to be on TV, there is a reason that Black women are a little nervous with how she shows up, because this platform is bigger than Love and Hip Hop. This is going to shoot her into a market that we want to be represented well. And yeah, there's going to be cattiness and a little bit of, you know, shade, but we don't want it to become violent and real low down and nasty. So I think that's where the line is for most viewers who are kind of rooting for Kay, but we hoping that Kay roots for herself enough to like rise to the occasion and not like bring herself down to the gutter where she likes to sometimes be, shaking that table. You feel me? And so again, that's cool on Love and Hip Hop, but just don't bring that. Again, I'm from the actual hood, and she's pretending to be from the hood. I remember we moved out of the hood into like a nicer neighborhood, and I remember our neighbor was like, "Don't bring that bump 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 over here," whatever housing we lived in. It's like, don't bring that to the bullshit over here. We was like, ah, we did. We're a little bit sometimes. So anyway, neither here nor there. So yeah, so you just don't bring that Love and Hip Hop bullshit over here. That's all. So we'll see. I'm rooting for her. We were all rooting for you. We're rooting for you, Kay. So you neither here nor there. But that R. Kelly stuff, stop talking about that man. Like, leave that over there. So next we are going to talk a little bit about regular Robin. Regular Robin. Honey, I don't know how I feel about Robin either. And she's my Aries twin. Not twin, because I don't think she got my birthday. Is she a March Aries? She act like a March Aries. I'm an April Aries. So. Aries. Oh yes, I knew it, honey. She's a March Aries, y'all. We don't associate with them. No, I'm just joking. So I like Robin. Sometimes I don't. You know, she's giving very much March Aries, where she's very much not social. I feel like the April Aries are more like we. Well, I won't say you like people. That's too far. But we socialize a little bit more. We have more couth. You know what I'm saying? With Robin, sometimes it's just like a lot unfiltered. She's very like brass, and so we'll see it cold. I feel like April Aries are a little bit more warm, but we can play like that too if you play too much in our face. So I don't know how I feel, but I liked Robin. I never was like an anti-Robin girl. I understand the colorism of it all and how she definitely should address those things if she hasn't already, and she should be held accountable for those things, which I think they are. Kind of just bringing her own friend, and she lost her flute, so she has faced consequences for those actions, and she has a lot of redeeming things to do, and so we'll see what happens with her with that. I hope she doesn't come on and continue to be a Giselle yuppie, because I hate that for her, because I feel like she's an original OG. Like, she has her own life and her own thing. And I think this probably is the best thing for her, because she doesn't like to share a lot, which very Aries thing. I mean, even though Stacy's the same way. You know what I'm saying? They both Aries. But I feel like if she does come on, she does have to just be more open, more fun. I think we want to see fun Robin, because when Robin is fun, like when she be drinking and with the shots of tequila, she is hilarious. So hopefully we see more of that when she comes on this season. So I'm wishing her luck. Are you here for this? Are you happy to see Robin? If you're happy to see Robin, put a green heart for the green girls and their gals at Potomac. So we will see her next season, though. I'm happy she's coming back. If this is true, this will be good. I've been talking about this girl every single season. I mean, every single weekend that we've been doing these lives, right? Every single week, I've been talking about this next girl. What I wanted to say is, this next girl is going to be on a trajectory of being the first celebrity, I think, of Black like culture that has kind of surpassed their station in a way that is like magnifying, and that is Miss Olandria Carthen. Okay, so we can say what we want to say about Olandria, but the girl has been showing up and showing out every day, all day. And I'm just so proud of her, because the person she has become and developed into is like, it's exceeded my expectations. I know it exceeded y'all's. Like, I am utterly shocked I'm shocked. Are you shocked? I'm shocked at how good this has been. Like, I've had such a good time watching her transcend into a Barbie girl. Like, look at this. And I wanted you guys to see how, like, this is her. She's gonna be Barbie. Let me show you guys the little video, if I have it in here, of her being the Barbie. She's the Barbie. And she did such a good job, like, showing up and showing out and being like authentic to herself, but also being able to position herself to continue to have these brand deals that are like actually out of this world. Like, I don't think there's been any other Love Island girl that has done what she's done. And I think we have to really put some respect on her name for how she's been moving as soon as she's come out the villa, as well as the uh energy and professionalism she puts into her team. Let me show you guys this. A little bigger. This is her Barbie shoot. She was at Coachella doing her thing, and she's like been sitting pretty, looking good, and I'm just so proud of her. Like, I feel like this is everything that any little Black girl would want to be, Barbie. And then if you see in front of me, I also have her as after Barbie, she's also doing Coachella, but she's also doing Sports Illustrated, and that's what you see here. So she's going to be the face of Sports Illustrated, which is amazing. So these are some of the preview shoots of her that you can see. And when she announced, she did a video for that too. announcing her collaboration or her next cover with the Sports Illustrated. So shout out to Olandria for continuing to break barriers, continuing to be that girl, and just continuing to be an inspiration for all the young Black girls around the world. I know she mentioned in one of her recent posts that she feels like so proud of herself because she never in a million years thought she'd be in a position to be in Sports Illustrated, to be a Barbie girl in a world. Like, remember where I was talking about Karen Hugler and how that fairy tale has ended? I feel like for Landria, the fairy tale is just beginning. So it's just a beautiful full circle moment for her. And this is just within like less than a year, right? And she just got out the villa in August. And all of these beautiful things is coming on, but that just teaches you things like make sure you have your plan in place. Because while she was in the villa, her friends were planning her exit. Make sure that you're betting on yourself and that you never doubt who you are. And that she said, as a little girl, people always call her like, "Oh, you look like the little sweet Barbie." And then she's from Alabama, so she added Alabama to make sure you have branding. You continue to bring yourself, put yourself out there. And I love that she's continued to do that time and time again, and she just keeps going up. And I just think if you guys are like watching somebody and seeing how they move, Olandria is such a good representation. And she dropped her YouTube page. At first I was like, oh, she's too exposed. But then I thought about it. Law Roach, she wants to be a fashion girly. Law Roach also just dropped a YouTube page. I looked up his numbers. He's Law Roach. He has 60K followers. And I looked up Olandria. She now has 60K followers. And that was as of a couple of days ago. Let's see where she is now. See how many followers she has. But yes, she has 60K followers, the same as Law Roach. And I'm thinking, okay, so they're following the Zendaya thing. Okay, she's at 56K, which is still a lot. Oh, that's the video. That's the video for the views. Hold on. Let me see the page. So the video is at 60K. The page is at 72K. Okay, because the other day I checked it, it was at and then Law Roach, who I think they're kind of modeling after, he's at 18.7K. Yeah. Okay. And so I think they're kind of seeing the fashion girlies opposing themselves. They're creating their own brand. So they're following like a mix of Law and Zendaya's moves. And I think they're, excuse me, you know how Law doesn't really post things about his personal life, but he posts behind the scenes of the fashion and Zendaya. That's all they're doing on this page. It's not like a really personal, like we're not going home with her to see her mama and see her sisters and all that. We're just watching her promote the fashions that she's done over the last year, which I think is brilliant, you know? And so she is following a really nice path with going the Zendaya route and using fashion as a way to catapult her into these rooms so that she can network and get more opportunities. Like, did you guys know? I told you guys, yeah, you know, if you watched my video last week, she's going to the Met Gala. So every room she ends presents new opportunities for her to position herself to get to another goal, another red carpet, boom, boom, bus, tour bus, plane, you know what I mean? So it's just a beautiful thing. So I'm excited to watch this shooting star continue to grow and see where she ends up at. I think her trajectory has been really fun. It's like been amazing to watch. I did see this. This is like kind of off the cuff. We're wrapping up the show right now. This is more news related, newsworthy. I don't usually do news over here. I usually do that on my other page, Pretty Political. If you guys are interested in news, politics, follow me over there. This is just more like pop culture, but I thought this was interesting that Netflix is now changing their tune, because what was happening is, you know how they had you can't, only one household can have like a video. Their usership went down significantly, a 15% drop in global subscribers, right? And so because of that, they now are taking away the one user household thing. So I thought that was really interesting. So if we band together, just like we did with Target, these companies will learn that they can't mess with us. Now, you know, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to with. So we really have to be Wu-Tang on that and stay together, stay a solidified, solid power to let them know we ain't paying the $5. Okay, because that's wrong what they're doing. Keep raising I think when I started Netflix, it was like $5 and then $8 and then $12, and now it's almost $30 for Netflix. And then you can't share your password with your brother or your sister or your cousins. So this here says, I'm gonna read it over there because I can see it bigger on the screen. It says, one household, one login, no sharing with your cousin, your ex, or the family group chat. Netflix really tried it. And this is from Ebony, by the way. But the people clearly weren't going. After rolling out a strict password sharing ban, reports now suggest the company may be softening those rules following a reported 15% drop in global subscribers. Streaming once was a shared experience, and when that changed, so did the numbers. So, what does this really say about power and community? How far can companies push before the culture pushes back? And I think this is a beautiful message of where we are in these times. Like, as a culture, the things we see and we're not satisfied with, we have to push back on. And we can't normalize the things that are harmful to us, especially during a time where we are in an economic downturn and crisis. We cannot allow them to continue to push our pockets to the brink of desperation and debt. So let's speak up and use our voices and use the monetary power of boycotting, like we have done with Target and now we're doing with Netflix, to let them know you know better. You know better. Okay. And with that, we also have to let this current administration know that we're not with it either. And this is why I wanted to add this. And again, I don't usually talk about politics on this page, but I think it's very important more now than ever to discuss the impacts that politics are having in culture and society, and that our voices, black people, if you're black, white, brown, whatever you are, red, yellow, black and white, Jesus loved the little children of the world, I don't care, but go out there and vote. You have to make sure right now. I don't know if I posted this video, did I download it, but there was a video talking about how the whole country, the bottom south, has turned blue. And that is, yeah, I did. I saved it because I thought that was just very impactful. Like the power of our voices, the power of our community coming together and making sure that we are standing up to these political pundits that are trying to bully us and not have our voices heard and shown. So of course it doesn't want to load. I wonder why, but it is. It's, I'm gonna let it take its time and load. So, of course, they don't want us to stand up for ourselves. Of course, they don't want our voices heard. Of course, they don't want us to unify and come together and tell them that, hell no, we won't go and this is wrong. So, this page right here, I actually found this from Roland Martin watching him, and he talks about these two activists, Cliff Albright and Latasha Brown, and they spoke so eloquently on the experiences that Black voters have all throughout the United States. I remember even talking to my cousin who just moved from Florida to Jersey, and I was like, do you vote, cuzzo? He said, oh, hell no, I don't vote. I said, why you don't vote? Of course, my battery's dying too. Hold on. He said, oh, no, I don't vote. I said, why don't you vote? And he said he doesn't, make sure. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Yeah, he said, I said, why don't you vote? He said, he said, them racist mofos down there, you think I'm going to vote? He said, they be at the polling booth. And I've never experienced, I mean, I've experienced a little tiny bit of it. And you guys go to my Pretty Political page, you'll see what I'm talking about. Let me put the tag, the name
The
of my
South is no
page down
longer
there so you
red.
guys can see it.
It's blue and pink. Texas is blue. Florida's blue. Indiana's
oh,
blue.
This video's going, y'all. Hold on. Give it a second. Let me put my name of my other page down there so you have it. It's pretty.politico. And this is kind of like a pretty political situation right now. So that's my other page, Pretty Politico. So if you guys are interested in more politic related things, this is where this video will live. Like, I'm going to screenshot this section and screen record this section and put it on that page. So you'll find that there. I'm going to crop this probably segment out. Maybe. We'll see. Sometimes I crop them out, sometimes I don't. But I think this actually might need to stay in here because I think it's important more now than ever that we get out and we vote. And so I think Black Lives Matter, but Black votes matter even more. Okay? So, and I think what happens is when you have those people who are like red and like are MAGA filled, what they do is they don't necessarily convert people to MAGA, but what they do is make people indifferent to voting, like those Nick Cannons, those Amber Roses. And that's all they need. They just need you to stay home. And so if you believe in something, get out there and vote. Let me show you guys this video here. This is the power of our voting so far after the midterms. And this is brand new. I just downloaded this today.
The South is no longer red. It's blue and pink. Texas is blue. Florida's blue. Indiana's blue. Montana's blue. You made Alabama pink? You made Oklahoma pink? This is what happens when you kiss the wall. When you're the leader of the free world of a 40% Christian nation. This fucker promised no income tax, no wars, cheaper groceries, a housing crash. And now he's gonna build a fucking casino on the Gaza Strip. Lebanon's the next Palestine. He's starting a fucking world war with Iran after Biden just killed like 1 million Ukrainians. He is burning every bridge, every ally ship we have to the ground that we've had for, I'm not kidding, 70 years. Because he's such a fucking jackass. Liquidated the market 4 times in a year, started a tariff war with China and lost. Oh, and nothing short of probably raping and eating kids.
That goes back to the K. Michelle of it all too. Like, there's worse things people have done in America than be a couch potato and talking about robbing. You heard what she said again. Eating who? Eating what? Okay, neither here nor there. So just my point of all that was to say we turn the tides. As she mentioned, these states down here are all turning blue. Texas blue? Where they do that at? So that lets you know that we are movers and shakers. If the South is blue, that means we are turning the tables, turning the tides. And you won't see this on the news. That's why you see so much war content. That's why you're seeing so much chaos and the planes dropping and the Strait of Hormuz being stopped. You're seeing all this. And I think the latest news was him firing, all his women in cabinet members, like, Christy Nome and her husband and the things that Melania even came out and spoke yesterday about how she's not in Epstein files. These are all distractions from the fact that he's turned everything blue. He's turned everything blue because of his policies and him not keeping true and honoring the things he told his constituents that he would use and do while he was in office. So if you haven't already, make sure you check this site out. It's called Black Vote Matters. You can look up how to vote, where to vote in your town, and why it's so important to vote. Sign up for the newsletter, and obviously you can always donate there. I'm not telling you to donate. You're not hearing that from me, but if you want to help them, you can donate so that they can get the word out, because they like feed people and during the protest, and they help the community out and things like that. They get buses to bus people to the voting stations and things like that, so that they have that protection in those states that I told you my cousin came from. These are the election schedules. So if you can see here, I printed them all out. I've uploaded them all here. This is, if you're in any of these states, these are some of the upcoming voting. There was one just yesterday, April 10th. Obviously, I was supposed to do this video before that. Sorry, guys. But we are where we are. There's some today. So polls will still be open, because mostly polls don't open to stay open until 8 o'clock. So check those out if you're in Utah, Texas, if you're watching from any of those states right now. Delaware, you guys have some coming up next week. You have California, Texas, you have one tomorrow. And then we have here, let me bring this over. Then we have New Mexico. You guys have some coming up next week. Illinois next week, Utah next week, more next week. So you guys have a lot of midterm elections coming. So make sure you go and vote. Colorado, Florida, if you guys are watching from any of those states, 21st, that's you, Florida. You guys here, New Jersey, that's where I am. We have a school board voting. These are all the upcoming votes for everything. And these small local elections, these midterms matter. Trust me, because these are where the changes are made. These are where the big changes are made. Back up. Am I? Let's fix my camera a little bit. Okay. And then we have, I think that's it. Yeah, Texas, and everything goes up to May 2nd. Because I didn't screenshot the entire year. I just did it for the next month. So you guys can have an idea of like where we are and what we're doing. So let me make sure I bring that back a little bit. Okay. All right. So we're wrapping up here. I say all this to say, you know, your vote matters. Make sure you find your voice, use your voice in all that you do. All we have in this life is the ability to speak up for ourselves. My mama used to always say, you know, you gonna stay here and you can either suffer or you can speak. So you have to speak up and not just suffer through it, okay? So just continue to do that and make sure you're using your voice in a proper way. We are getting to that time. We are almost at the end of the second year of his term. You know, they say 4 years, but it's really like 3. You know what I'm saying? Really like 2.5, because right now he's at the second quarter of his term. He has one more year to finish everything, and then he's out of there in year 4, right? So they don't really do full years. So he's basically gonna be almost out of there. So next year they'll be campaigning for 2027. Oh yeah, 2026 now. They'll be campaigning for 2027. You'll see the campaign trails for election, which will be November 2028. And then we'll be swearing in our new president on no, January 2028 will be swearing in our new president. So let me see, January 2028, new president. So 2027, yeah, November 20 election will be held November 7th. Yeah, so January 2029, I was right. So he will be gearing up to like wrap things up by the end of next year. And then he has one more year to fulfill his things, but we won't be focused on him in 2028. We're going to be focused on the new candidate. And then 2029, we'll be inducting a new president. So just remember that timeline is really short. It seems long, but that stuff is going to happen really fast. So he's basically at the second half of his term right now. Like, so we're trying to get him we're trying to think about the future right now. So make sure you're going out to vote. Sorry if I bored you with that. This will all be on Pretty Politico. Again, that's my political page. Oh, segment. Yes, before we get out of here. Okay, so this segment is called Joy Comes in the Morning. If you guys don't know, my favorite quote in the Bible is weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning, right? Because I really truly believe that. I feel like we all suffer through something. We all go through something. We all have our traumas in life, but it's coming out on the other side that allows this life to be a beautiful thing, and for us to have this journey that provides these experiences that leave us with these fulfilling and joyful moments. And I feel like when you stumble upon those moments, they're like nod and winks from God saying, keep on keeping on, keep on carrying on. So each week I try to grasp those little nods and winks from the universe that I see and give them back to you guys so that you can keep on keeping on. Let me play my current Joy Comes in the Morning video if I can find it. Let's see. I didn't have it here prepared. Oh, I did photos. Let me do video. Joy comes in the morning. Troubles, they don't last always. But there's a friend in Jesus who will wipe your tears away. And if your heart is broken, just lift your hands and say, oh, here it goes. You guys are going to love that. Lord, I know that I can make it. I know that I can change. No matter what may come my way, my life is in your hand. I used to love that song. With Jesus, I can make it. I always gotta play. Okay, here's the video.
talk through the camera.
Hi.
Hello. Can we do it faster?
Yep. Yep, it's me.
Hi, Pastor.
Hi, what y'all doing?
Nothing. We was on exploring this train track, and we saw something evil. We just want to come pray. Something evil. We want to come pray. And I'm going to show you the picture.
Okay.
It was something like that.
Oh, where you see that at?
In this thing. And then there was a creepy dude in there, and we want to make a prayer. Yeah, we just want to make a prayer at the church.
Okay, I'm not there right now though. I'm just talking to y'all through the camera.
Yeah, we know.
You can come by tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow at 12 if you.
We saw something evil. We just want to come pray. Something evil. We want to come pray. And I'm going to show you the picture.
My bad, I'm gonna just play from there. I don't know what happened.
It was something like that.
Oh, where you see that at?
In this thing. And then there was a creepy dude in there, and we want to make a prayer. Yeah, we just want to make a prayer at the church.
Okay, I'm not there right now though. I'm just talking to y'all through the camera.
Yeah, we know.
You can come by tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow at 12 if y'all want to come.
Nothing. We nothing. You could talk through the camera.
Hi.
Hello. Can we do it faster?
Yep. Yep, it's me.
Hi, Pastor.
Hi, what y'all doing?
Nothing. We was on exploring this train track, and we saw something evil. We just want to come pray. Something evil. We want to come pray. And I'm going to show you the picture.
Okay.
It was something like that.
Oh, where you see that at?
In this thing. And then there was a creepy dude in there, and we want to make a prayer. Yeah, we just want to make a prayer at the church.
Okay, I'm not there right now though. I'm just talking to y'all through the camera.
Yeah, we know.
You can come by tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow at 12 if y'all want to come. Okay, I'm not there right now though. I'm just talking to y'all through the camera.
Guys, it took me a minute to understand what was happening. I think what happened was I don't know. I screenshotted maybe from the shade room instead of the original TikTok that I seen. So let me just explain to you what happened, because what happened was after that they said, "Can you?" I think that is. I'm gonna have to find that TikTok. Hold on. Y'all got to see the full thing, and I'll just edit this out. Live stuff, right? This is why I'm thinking about starting to just do videos, not live, but I enjoy the live. I just enjoy the live format. But we'll see. I'm thinking about just doing them and then not doing them live, just that way I have all my clips together. But hold on, I'm gonna see if I can find Boys Run to Pastors and get it from TikTok instead of from. I think I got that from Instagram. Um, I think I got that from Instagram, and I got it from. Did I get it from the shade room? I got it from the shade room. I think the shade room only had a shorter clip. This is from the shade room TikTok, which is a longer clip. So let me see if it'll let me show you guys the longer clip, because I love the prayer part, and I'm like, that's the reason I did the Joy Comes in the Morning. So you guys have to see the prayer part. I feel like that's the most important part. Seeing them little boys pray like that was just so beautiful to me, and that to me is where the joy comes from. But then when God started blessing, the devil started messing. And so the fact that out of all the clips I had today, the clip of the little black boys getting prayed for doesn't want to show, I find that very interesting. So let's try that. That's why I'm even more determined to play you guys the full clip. It's a longer clip. It's like a 2-minute clip. So That's loading right now. But yeah, in the clip, it's just basically these young boys, as you can see, they're in fear of like what's going on around them in their environment, and they have a safe space to go to in this pastor, and she goes on to give them like a place to feel like they can open up and be themselves. I hope they continue as they get older to feel she is a safe space. I hope it reminds me of Kendrick Lamar. He had a song, Promise That I Will, without you, promise that I will. And then it is this old black lady in the song that prays for him, right? And it changes his life. And at the end, she said, young man, are you ready to give your life to Jesus Christ? And he says, yes, ma'am. So this is the full video. Let me play it for you guys so you can see it here for
You could
yourselves.
talk through the camera.
Hi.
Hello. Can we do it?
Yep. Yep, it's
Hi,
me.
Pastor.
Hi, what y'all doing?
Nothing. We was on a exploring this train track, and we saw something evil. We just want to come pray. Something evil. We want to come pray. And I'm going to show you the picture.
Okay.
It was something like that.
Oh, where you see that at?
In this thing. And then there was a creepy dude in there, and we want to make a prayer. Yeah, we just want to make a prayer at the church.
Okay, I'm not there right now though. I'm just talking to y'all through the camera.
We know.
You can come by tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow at 12 if y'all want to come by and come inside and pray.
Okay,
Or you just want me to pray now? Or you want to wait till tomorrow?
No, we can wait till tomorrow.
Okay, you come by tomorrow around 12 and y'all can come in.
Wait, can you pray? What time? Wait, can you pray for us right now and pray for us tomorrow?
Yep, I can do both.
All right, y'all.
All right. Y'all ready?
Yeah, we ready.
All right, Father, in the name of Jesus, I thank you. I lift your babies up to you right now, asking that you cover them from the crown of their head to the soles of their feet. Father God, dispatch your angels to encamp all around them. Protect them from all danger seen and unseen. Father God, put a shield of protection around them. Let nothing come near them, Father God, that may be trying to draw their attention away from you. Father God, we simply thank you. We give you all the glory, honor, and praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
All right, y'all come back tomorrow, okay?
Thank you, Pastor.
All right.
God, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, love you.
Love you too, Pastor.
Thing, right? You see?
Y'all, Pastor really the best.
Pastor really the best. Y'all see that? Pastor's really the best. I love that. So, my baby girl, she heard the kids. She had to come running in. It's like, yeah, I love that. I love that they have a safe space. I love that they feel protected by her. I love that they feel like they have someone in community who is in community with them. We talked about that earlier with the voting and the Netflix of it all. So having community, being in community with people, and you notice that my mom always said, children shall lead them, right? So he's a child. He led his friends to the pastor's house to put them in a better position to kind of cure and ease their souls about something that they saw that was disturbing in their neighborhood. And this is why I think it's so beautiful that we get back to those times where the elders were respected in community, that we show up for each other and with love and respect and dignity. And I think the only way to do that is to continue to feed our youth, to let them know that the things going on in the world right now are not the things we support, and that we see a brighter future for them, and that we want the best for them, and that we are here for them, and that we are a sounding board and a support system for them. And I think that was a beautiful rendition of that when we see the pastor supporting those young people like that. 10 out of 10. That was my joy comes in the morning moment. And as I said, we be making endure for the night, but joy, it comes in the morning. So I had to show you guys that, and that is my joyful moment of the week. I hope it brought me so much joy watching those little boys have that moment of like peace, with peace that passes all understanding within themselves, to know that there's a safe place to go to. I hope you have a safe place to go to. I know I hope you find this as a safe place to come to. I always tell you, I never let anybody come on here, disrespect you, dog you out, or do something dirty to you in the comments. You are safe here. If you are one of my subscribers, you are never going to be put in a position where you are disrespected dogged out or done dirty, because we don't play like that over here, because we have morals, values, and principles, and we'll get into that because that's what we say around here. So I wanted to end with, we're wrapping up right now. I wanted to end with the message of the day. So message of the day is, due to divine reasons, this light cannot be dimmed. And as I mentioned, you the birthday. That's why, because you the birthday. Okay, you the birthday. Period. You the birthday. Don't forget it. So yeah, your divine reasons cannot be dimmed. So I love that. Let me see if I have my. This boy is crazy. Let me show y'all this. So yeah, when I saw this, that's the first thing I thought of. You the birthday. These kids today have all these sayings coming up, and people's like, "What does the birthday mean?" I'm like, "That means you're her, you're that girl," and that's the message of the day. You're that girl, you're a girl, guy, you're her, you're him. You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, don't never forget it. Don't let nobody turn you around. That's what I tell my daughter every single day. Stay on your path, lead your troop, and go your way. Like that little boy led his troop to the pastor. You need to lead your troop to where they need to go. The right way, the right time, the right direction. And that's what it's all about. So let me show y'all this little video right here and remind you.
Birthday. You the birthday. Who the birthday? You the birthday. Okay.
Who the birthday? You the birthday. Let's play that one more time before we get out of here. Because I was cracking up when I saw this.
You the birthday. You the birthday. Who the birthday? You the birthday.
You the birthday.
Okay.
Who the birthday? You the birthday. All right, that's the message of the week. All right, don't forget, we're gonna do some housekeeping around here. I have my hoodies. If you guys are interested, I always wear these hoodies. Everybody always asks me where I get them from and compliment them. This is the link to my hoodies. I create them, I sell them. You can get them there. If you guys see, okay, sorry about that. I got kicked off. I don't know. They tell me it's time to go, and I agree. So, if you guys want to support me in getting myself another cup of Joe, see, I need that. That's how I keep my energy around here, all high energy and stuff. That's how I'm able to do that, by having my cup of coffee. If you want to support the channel by giving me a cup of coffee, you can click that QR code there. If you want to actually buy your own mug, because I create these mugs too, and have your own cup of coffee, you don't want to support me in a cup of coffee, but you want to get your own cup of coffee, you can buy yourself a mug there below. I always tell you guys, don't forget to follow me on Snapchat. I am joining Snapchat now. I've been doing a lot of posting behind the scenes where I'm hooting and hollering and screaming and shouting about what's going on with these shows. So if you want to see me cook, you want to see me hooting and hollering at these shows and everything I'll be telling you about as I'm watching it live, you can watch me on Snapchat, where I post my snippets of the day and all my antics behind the scene leading up to coming to present to you guys. So, and also I told you guys, also follow me on Blue Sky. Don't forget to follow me there as well, because I also have a lot of antics over there as well, because I'm just a keyboard warrior over there. So if you guys are interested, don't forget to follow me on all platforms as well. And there's also a link tree in my description bar. If you guys want to just go to my link tree and follow me there, you can do that as well. I always close it out every day by letting you guys know that we are the MVPs of our lives. Please don't forget to remember to always maintain your morals, your values, and principles, and you are the MVP of your life. Do not forget that. I'm not going to let you forget it, and I don't need you to forget it, because at the end of the day, that's all we have in this life is our morals, our values, and our principles, and we are the MVPs over here. That's why I call y'all my MVPs. Thank you so much for joining me this week. As always, you guys keep me joyful, enlightened, and very pleased to be here and show up for you. So thank you for showing up for me, and I'll continue to show up for you. If you haven't already, make sure you like the video, you subscribe to the video, you comment on the video, so that we can keep ourselves in an algorithm. We can continue to grow our family here. We at I think 1,900, something like that. We're trying to get to 2,000 by the end of the summer. We're trying to get to 4,000 by the end of the year. We're trying to get to 10,000 as soon as we can. So the quicker, the better, you know what I'm saying, to grow our channel, to put the brand out there, because we need more MVPs to make sure that we're spreading love, positivity, and light into the world. The more flames that grow and each one lights another flame, the brighter we can be as a society, and the brighter we can be as a community, and the brighter we can be as in the world. So let's continue to do that and spread our joy, spread our light, like the message of the day say, because you the birthday, baby.
You the
the
birthday.
Due to divine reasons.
Who the birthday? You the birthday. Okay.
This light cannot be dim. Don't forget it. Don't you ever forget it. Thanks again. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. It's your girl, Nico Nicole, and this has been Give This Girl a Mic. I'm out. I see you guys.
I saw you.